Hi everybody, and thanks for deciding to watch our Drunken Christmas special. To go along with our drunken theme, this video rambled on for roughly 3 hours, the recordings got all janky and effed up, and the editing was lengthy and impossible. We did this on purpose to make you feel right at home while you're suffering through the holidays with your in-laws and assorted family members you can't stand, which is undoubtedly resolved by drinking incessantly, muting your feelings, and rendering your winter vacation a confusing mess of chopped up, unwanted memories. I truly hope you enjoy this very special episode of Arcade Bookshop. Please be advised that in order to foster quality discussions in each episode, we will spoil the stories in each game and text we talk about. Good news is, 90% of the titles we cover are old enough that many of you might already know all about them. That said, we do encourage you to play and read before listening.
Listen up now, when we leave on, get ready for Arcade Bookshop. With your ball, play a game, check it out. Don't be lame, listen up now, when we leave on, get ready for Arcade Bookshop.
So if you purchased a Celsius drink between January 1st, 2015 and November 23rd, 2022, the class action website outlines that each can of Celsius will get you $1.
Wow.
So if you had like cases of it and you could prove that you bought those, I guess you'd get all your money back.
Does it say what the reason is? What the lawsuit was about?
Misled customers about its health claims because the drink contains citric acid, often used as a preservative, and I guess it's not supposed to have preservatives. Something very stupid, like always, because people don't take any accountability for what they put in their body. Like those fuckheads that keep suing Panera Bread because they have those energy teas or whatever they are. Those supercharged teas, which I liked because I used to mix it with my coffee there. Get a big old boost of energy, but a couple people died because they had heart issues and they drank it, even though it says contains 300 milligrams of caffeine, and they were like, "Oh, I didn't know."
That's crazy.
Dildos.
Sometimes I wonder if I'm like pushing it with my caffeine intake. Like,
how much do you drink a day?
I don't know milligram wise, but I had I work at a cafe, and I had like when I open, I usually have some kind of espresso drink. I just make myself
that's
something
usually
to wake myself up.
milligrams right there.
Something like that, like 90 something. And then after that, I'll usually have some kind of, well, not usually, but I started having some kind of tea. And there's this jasmine tea there, and I actually hated it. It tasted like shoes, but like when you walk into like Foot Locker and it smells like that weird rubber. It smells like that.
Yeah.
And it tastes like that too. It's like you're chewing on shoe soles.
Why are you drinking that?
Well, I was just trying it because it was there. Anyway, I I had it, and then like an hour or so later, I was like, I'm fucking wired. Like, what's wrong with me? I didn't even take the tea into account because tea caffeine usually is just like not even real to me in my head.
Tea doesn't count, even though you could have matcha tea and be fucking going through the fucking roof.
And I've never felt that way with matcha. I don't understand. But man, I had that jasmine tea, and I was wired as hell. And I guess just I haven't had tea in a while, and it's completely different from drinking coffee.
You know what you have to be careful with that a lot of people don't know? Pure cacao powder. Because in my 20s, I wanted to cut my caffeine intake, so I started drinking those. Like, I would get just the powder, and I'd have a scoop, a big fucking scoop. And I used it like it was coffee and hot water, and it was really good. It tastes like, hot cocoa. I think I just drank it, plain, too. I didn't even have to put stuff in it. And then I started noticing after like a week or two of that, my heart was racing all the time, and I felt like shit. And that turned out it could cause heart attacks. Like, it's not good for you to take it in that much. You're supposed to just have like a little teaspoon or something every once in a while.
I just saw a video that said that cacao is better for you than coffee, but probably in the right amounts.
Yeah, well, the right amounts, like I forget, like 1 or 2 teaspoons or something, not a giant tablespoon that I was using, or 2. I think I was using like 2 of them, I was like, oh, it's just like hot cocoa. Well, no, it's probably more like cocaine.
The video I watched, it started out with by saying like it's a better alternative than coffee, and it's probably something you already have in your cabinet or whatever. And I went, they just talking about cocoa powder basically. And they're talking about cacao, but the way they framed that made it sound just like cocoa powder. So I went to the store and I was like, I want to get some cocoa powder and see if that's better for me than drinking coffee. So I started making it, and I was thinking, because my thing is I'm always trying to figure out what's causing my headaches and migraines. So I was like, I wonder if that's like a better alternative than drinking like coffee, because coffee's intense. So I made 1 cup, and I feel like I told you this already. Maybe I didn't, but I made 1 cup, and I got halfway through it and got a headache.
Well, recently I hopped up back on the sauce pretty hard, but I was off all caffeine for like almost 2 years, maybe 2 years. And I can honestly tell you this, Bryce, other than not jitteriness, but other than just like being like at a calmer level, no difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt no difference with fatigue or tiredness or alertness. Probably because I blew up my adrenal glands in my 20s, taking like pre-workouts and energy drinks and fucking all kinds of stupid shit. So caffeine doesn't even really affect me that much anymore. But there are certain drinks where if I drink them, like energy drinks do nothing at all for me. If anything, they make me more tired for some reason. But if I drink like certain drinks, I'll notice I'll get like all fucking hyped up, and I'm like, I don't know what kind of caffeine that is, but I absorb that a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really sensitive to things. I don't know. I was off caffeine for like a year, and I felt good, and it was probably the only time that I like really reduced my headaches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started having. I wasn't even drinking decaf coffee, and then like I don't know, like 6, 8 months in, I was like, I'll have decaf coffee. That's not that bad. And so I was doing that for a while, and then eventually I just started drinking. I was like, I'll have one cup of regular coffee a week, something like that.
That's how it starts. That's what I did.
Yeah, and then eventually I just started drinking coffee again.
I'm drinking Trenta fucking cold brews in the morning and an energy drink an hour later and straight up cocaine and noon. And
well, long story yeah, cocaine.
I need to be a little peppy.
Long story short, I'm getting migraines like 3 to 4 times a week. And it's so bad. I mean, I'm also eating terribly, so I'm sure that's contributing to it too. But
dehydration.
I try to stay hydrated. I started buying. You know what Nuun is? Nuun.
Yeah, it's one of those powders.
Those electrolyte. Well, it's like a tablet.
Or is it the
well,
tablets?
it's
Yeah,
both.
the tablet.
It's both. Yeah, I buy the tablets.
I've tried this before.
I used to use that for running when I was running like marathons and races and stuff. But I started buying them and drinking them every single morning just to keep my electrolytes up. Because I feel like I deplete things like really fast. And I think that's the best way. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell for sure if it helps. Sometimes it seems like it does, and other times I'm like, I mean, I'm still getting headaches. I don't know. But I don't know. I need to.
Maybe it's just a tumor.
It could be, but I don't know. It seems really migrainey. I think I started worrying that like I had a tumor, or something like that.
It's not a tumor.
And then I was like, well, I mean, honestly, even the vertigo that I have, that is also a migraine symptom, you know?
Ah, interesting.
I think I just developed migraines for some reason. And because it's not uncommon in my family to get headaches, at least, and my aunt does get migraines. I don't know. I think I developed that. And it kind of sucks, but anyway.
I don't think that people want to hear about migraines.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe this should become a medical show.
Yeah.
And then I got this fungus on my balls, man. Like, that's what they want to hear.
And I
telling
keep
you.
chipping away at it, and it just keeps growing back.
Just using an old nail file. Chipping away at the old ball fungus. That'll be your TikTok advert. Just one clip, just chipping away at the old ball fungus and nothing else. Like Christmas special.
We need a good visual for that too.
Have a picture of like a really fat, sloppy Santa background. No pants on, just like checkered underwear, boxer shorts or something.
I started recording this before I started recording your video, but I just figured I would just pick a bunch of random stupid stuff we were talking about and put it in the beginning.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Look, I'm already getting buzzed, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows it. I poured this before. I think we were on there. I'm drinking 2 Mad Elves, which are, I think, 11% alcohol. Very strong. In my giant mug. I don't know what you're drinking.
I am drinking.
Well, you drank. Use the past tense because that is gone.
I drank. Well, first I drank an Angry Orchard green apple hard cider.
Ooh, hard.
I probably shouldn't do that.
What, promote the beers we were drinking? You could do that.
Well, I don't want to get like, I don't know.
You get demonetized because we don't have monetization, and you're not going to get flagged for
drinking
the product.
And nobody's going to watch this anyway, so it's
even if 1 million people watched it, they would be stoked that you are drinking their unless we get really homophobic or something. Then they don't want to be associated with us.
Well, Angry Orchard.
But you purchased the product. That's the important thing. If you purchased the product, you could do whatever the fuck you want with it. You could pour it on the ground and pee in it.
What I did was I purchased it. I purchased it at the grocery. I purchased the beer and
at the store that you could purchase it.
Where I purchased it, and I also was drinking, which I didn't. I did purchase this. I purchased this beer. I purchased the beer. It's called.
Purchased?
I purchased it. It's called TT.
TT?
It's called TT.
Why'd you crush the can like that?
Well, cause I don't know. I always crush my cans. It's called TT. It's from TT. I purchased it, and it's it's an Aslan beer from Aslan Beer Company where I work at in Pittsburgh. Aslan beer is mostly in the DC area. Here's the can. It's supposed to taste. I won't say it on air because I guess they aren't supposed to say it either. But it's supposed to taste like the chewy, fruity rainbow candy.
Why? Because it's a trademark name.
Yeah. But it does taste like it, and it's a sour beer, and it's delicious. Aslan beer is mainly in the DC and Virginia area. Pittsburgh is the first location in the Strip district where they have the Strip district. It's the first location outside of that DC Virginia area.
Outside of the District of Columbia.
So that's what I'm currently
out of your very thin, tall mug. Mine is a man.
This is also an Aslan beer mug. And it's
mine
the
is like a
Oktoberfest
Hofbrau mug. This thing is, I could kill a man with this. What, can you kill a man with that mug?
Where did you purchase that mug?
You know what? I have 2 of them, and I don't know where I got them. They just moved with me.
You don't know where you purchased it?
I don't know where I purchased it.
It's a nice mug that you've purchased.
Refreshing. It is very thick. I have a lot of cool mugs. My Lord of the Rings mug. I have a very big horn that I drink out of sometimes.
I like that the mugs that we're drinking out of are mugs that we both purchased, and that and that they're different from each other's mugs because
you didn't copy my mug.
For you devoted
For you long-time listeners who were from the beginning, all 3 of you, probably Spencer.
All of our 4 friends who listen to this podcast, and no strangers, nobody outside of our 50-mile radius.
Hey, we know there's at least one strange lady that listens to this podcast, right? From TikTok. Well, I don't know if she actually listens, but she likes the TikTok.
Shout out Jasmine.
Shout out Jasmine, #1 real fan.
Yeah, what was I saying? Mugs? Yeah, you always say a copy off of you, and sometimes we're drinking out of the same mug. Um, and you always say that I'm copying off everything that you do, and
Uh,
we just have similar taste, and I'll say that to the day I die.
that's fine. That's okay. You know, I'm the OG. I'm the cool one, so you could copy me. I'm all right with that. I don't freak out about it. Ain't
Man,
freaking out. So what are we talking about
I
today?
don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Another
We're 20.
day, another
We're.
victory for the
I'm
OGs.
sure I'm gonna chop this intro up, but we're 25 minutes in already.
That guy let the beer kick in. You know what we played for this fucking stupid holiday episode?
What did
One
we
of the most
play?
frustrating games I've played in a long time that I destroyed. I beat it so easily, even though it was very hard. And did you ever beat it, Bryce?
I didn't. But before we say it,
Jiggling?
it's Christmas. It's Christmas, everybody. Merry
Yay.
Christmas.
What if you're
Merry Christmas.
non-dominational?
Well-
I was thinking non-dominatrix, and I was like, that ain't right.
Yeah. You are a non-dominatrix.
I guess
'Cause
I
you're not a
have to be-
dominatrix.
Well, I don't know. What's the choice? Like, I could be one now, right?
Well, I think you'd be a dominator, right?
No. I could be a dominatrix. It's 2023 now. We're gonna be 2024 here soon. Fuck, Bryce. We forgot. We got to do a New Year's special.
No, we don't.
That is better than Christmas.
What are we gonna do for the New Year's special?
Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy holiday. You know what I hit people with when I'm at work and they hit me with the Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays or whatever horse shit?
What?
I look them dead in the eye and I hit them with the season's greetings. Hard as fuck on that. Season's greetings. What do you say to somebody who says that to you? Nothing. That's what you say.
You too, is what I say.
You too, buddy. You season's greetings to you too.
Because I gotta tell you, in my years of customer service, I still can't make my mouth do things very smoothly, which sounds very suggestive, but
To those strangers
But-
that you meet every day on the street.
but purely if someone says Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas to me, if I turn around and I try to say Happy Holidays to you too or Merry Christmas to you too, it's not gonna come out that way. It's gonna be like Merry Christmas to you too, and I'm gonna be like, oh fuck me for the rest of the day, and
You'll just dwell on that for 2 days straight and cry. I just
Yep.
give him a thumbs up.
yeah, I just say yeah, same to you, same here.
Here's
Same
a life
here.
hack you might need to be able to utilize.
You keep talking.
Bryce.
I'm gonna get another beer.
Okay. If you pretend you are a special needs man, people will not think poorly upon you when you make these flubs or act like an idiot or when they say, Merry Christmas and you go, Christmas to you too. Like they don't care.
If I pretend I'm what?
Special needs.
Special needs.
A special needs man.
I don't know if that's okay to do.
I mean, it's kind of ambiguous because I feel like there's a lot of people walking around that are special needs that don't even know it.
Well, anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Bryce is going to cut out me talking about special needs.
Welcome.
People. He always does.
Welcome to another episode of
That does fit perfectly in that mug. Or I will say that.
these what are these called? Pounders? Is that
Looks
what
like
they are?
PP.
They're
Looks like you're
pounders,
drinking
right?
PP. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like piddle.
Yeah.
You need a hearty dark beer that puts hair on your chest. That's what you need.
I didn't buy any Christmas beers. But at some point in the next 20 minutes, I'm gonna get to the introduction of this episode. But this one is also an Aslan beer, and it's called Tyson's Grandma, and it's a Thanksgiving beer. I think it's an IPA. It's brewed with pecan flavor, cinnamon, and
pea.
maple syrup.
Urine.
6.5% alcohol by volume.
Did you purchase that?
No.
You stole it. Damn it.
I did purchase the TT, but
You-
there's a special perk at Aslan where you if you work there, they can things there and they brew things there. So if you work there and you're lucky, I mean, not really lucky, but they do it periodically. Like the cans get fucked up, or the
Called scratch and dent, Bryce.
well, they call them low fills, or yeah, scratch and dent.
I don't care what they call them. They're called scratch and
And
dent.
well,
You're
also,
in America,
well,
goddammit.
if it's low fill, it's not scratched and dent. There's just not enough in there.
All right, well, same difference.
But yeah, so then we get to take them for free, usually.
You know, if you ever made your way back to the DPW studios, I literally have cases of beer to give you. Cases now.
Oh, well, lovely.
Like 4 cases.
I'll get back there soon.
I got like a
Oh.
Line and Kugel Peach.
And
I got some Peroni. I got
Oh.
some Pilsner Urquell. I got 2 more holiday cases I have to get for Christmas.
Wow.
For those who don't know, I work at a beer company and I get free
Mm.
beer on the holidays. So I have 2 more holiday cases, one for Christmas, one for New Year's I'm going to get. And I haven't even made a dent in the Line and Kugel Red Lager that I got
Ooh,
for
Red Lager.
Thanksgiving. And it's really good. I'm probably just going to get if you like that, I'll give you a case because I'm probably going to get another case of that if we haven't.
I've never had anything by Line and Kugels that wasn't like one of those special like seasonal flavor, like fruity flavor.
That's like mainly what they do now, is just seasonal stuff. But I really like the I like the Red Lager because that's one of their first actual products. When I started at the company, that's Line and Kugel was just becoming popular, and they had like a creamy ale and a red lager, and I don't know, maybe just like a basic beer. But that was it. They didn't have all this fancy, sunset wheats and the shandies of every flavor now, and peach and vagina and all that other stuff that you
yeah,
like.
I like the vagina grapefruit one. That one is particularly.
That one is good. It is pretty
That
good.
combo, you get that like slightly like tuna fish and citrus.
If the
and it's-
pH balance is off, it's not good. But you get it fresh, it's good.
Yeah, right. It tastes like straight out of the sea. And
No farm fish here. This is straight from the sea.
I'm gonna like want to kill myself when I go back to edit this episode because we're
You're
fucking
not cutting
like.
this. No, don't cut this out, Bryce, because this is how you get listeners.
No,
That's
no,
how
I'm not
DPW
gonna-
gets listeners.
I'm not cutting this out. We're like 32 minutes in and we haven't even started yet.
And we're gonna talk about the things that we read and played
Yeah.
for like 10 minutes. No one gives a shit about those because you know why? Because they suck. They weren't. Well, actually, Christmas Carol was pretty
true.
good, but the Stupid Die Hard was terrible.
Well, welcome to another episode of Caleb listening to me stumble through some speech that doesn't make any sense, and then patiently waiting for me to finish my my mouth movements, and then rephrasing what I said back to you so you can understand what I'm actually talking about. Welcome.
I think I'm pretty good at that because I work with Spencer, so he I reformulate what he says in English.
It's a shame that so many people need that, including myself. I feel like I'm a smart person, but when we do these podcasts, while we're recording, I feel smart until certain moments. And then I'm going back and editing it, and I'm like, oh, I'm actually a fucking idiot.
To be fair, a lot of times when I'm editing my podcast, I go, you know what I did here? I said the exact same thing I said 2 minutes ago, but I just rephrased it and said it in a smarter or dumber way, depending on the situation. And for, like when we have guests, for some reason, they just think it's like a new question and they answer and I bring something out of them. But usually I'm asking the same thing I already asked, just in a different way.
I never really noticed that.
Oh, because I'm good. I am perfect. I'm like a talk show host. I am like Jay Leno.
yeah,
How
you're
you
getting
doing?
I felt that way when we finished our David Craddock episode, and then I realized that I didn't actually say anything. So,
Well, what did I tell you before we started that episode? Because that was your first ever interview.
it's about
I said, Bryce,
the-
here's what you need to do. You just let them talk.
yeah.
That's
I
what
mean,
people are here
that's
to
what I
listen
was
to.
doing, and that is what's important, and that was what made it interesting. Because, I mean, neither of us were talking that much. It was mostly him, which was good because it was super fun to listen to. But
You know what I like about guests like that?
what?
Because I've had that on my podcast where it's like people that make Netflix movies and whatever shit they do. They always name drop. Like that guy,
Oh,
he
yeah,
name
yeah,
dropped
yeah.
a good bit. Like people who actually do stuff and actually have some kind of success, they always name drop. I don't know if that I always thought that was pretentious until I started interviewing these people, and I was like, it's cool though because like, oh, this guy's legit. He's like he knows these people. But then I think to myself, would I do that? Like if I got famous, would I start name dropping all the time? Probably.
Yeah. Well, you
'Cause
probably. Yeah. I mean, it depends, but it depends what you're famous for. But I think that's kind of part of it. Like,
it makes you sound legit.
well, if you have good stories, it involves other people, right? I mean, you're not
Yeah,
going to
but
tell
I mean
good stories about
sometimes
yourself.
like it's just simple. It's like, oh, so anyway, I was at the coffee shop and I always get my coffee and David Cronenberg, yeah, he's a buddy of mine. But anyway, I was getting my coffee. Like they just bring it up for no reason. Like there's a lot of times where that happens, but you're just like, oh, that's cool. He knows big director. That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
You know what's funny? I mean, I'm not positive here, but yeah, I think so. You remember? Well, you know the TikTok video I posted today where he was talking about Dan Pacina.
Yeah,
Did you actually listen to that whole thing? I mean,
I did not.
you were in the interview, but
That was in the interview.
yeah. But he was talking about Dan Pacina and how he kind of like exaggerates things. I think when I went to the Cleveland Gaming Classic, I'm not positive. I'm not positive, but I'm like 98% sure that Dan Pacina was there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember I went there with Zach Belanti of Death Comes Lifting, who was on the show for the Halloween episodes.
Name drop.
And that was
You're
good.
doing it already. You didn't just name him. You named him and his business.
Well, I figured. I mean,
He's
it's
been
relevant.
on the podcast at least.
Yeah. That's gonna be cool later down the line where we just do that same exact thing that we were just talking about over and over again. But yeah, I remember him talking to somebody there about talking to Dan Pacina and I remember him specifically saying he did like all the moves and stuff for all the fighters, or most of them anyway, in the Mortal Kombat games. Yeah, so I'm like pretty sure he was there, which is funny. And I actually worried about posting that video. I know he talked about it on the podcast, but I don't know.
Look, if he talked about it on the podcast, that's his problem. Made it public.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he was there. It's pretty cool. I mean, not that it's cool that the guy who exaggerates everything was there, but anyway, I mean, I guess we should continue the introduction. 37 minutes in. What are we talking about today? You started telling us about 15 minutes ago.
Well, from my understanding, you can't use the word midget because it's a slur, but you can still use it as midget football, and then midget wrestlers are cool with it. So I don't know where to draw the line. Sorry, I was just having my own podcast.
That was fascinating.
Well, I'm just saying that's a good topic. Where do you stand on that? Because I thought, oh, you can't say midget anymore. That's a slur. I'm fine with that. I don't need to say it. But then I went to midget wrestling last month or 2 months ago, and they were just all about it. And then I was like, okay. And then I started watching some stand-ups that were little people, and they used the word midget. And I was like, well, maybe it's like the N word. Like if you are one, you can use it, but if you're just a stupid honky like us, you can't. Makes sense. But then I'm like thinking, well, wait a minute, because I'm pretty sure I still hear people talk about playing midget football, which is just little kids football. I don't know why they named it that. But then
Don't
I
they
see
call
other
it
things
Pee-wee
where
football?
it's fine. It seems like the only people that get offended about the word are like, like stupid white ladies. So I don't know what to do. Do I cut it from my vernacular, my vocabulary, or do I just use it?
I don't know. I don't know any small people, so I don't know. But
Well, see, I have known small people in my life, some with dwarfism, some that are just really short, and none of them really care.
that's interesting.
Italians don't like it. They're just short. They find it offensive because it's a slur against them.
What about?
I think it's like the R word. You can't say that, but for the most part, nobody ever meant that as a mentally disabled person. They meant it as an insult towards people just being stupid. But I can understand, where there's some middle ground there that's kind of gray, and it's not cool to associate a stupid person with a mentally disabled person. So I get that one. But like the midget thing, Like if you call a short person who's just short a midget, it's offensive. But if you call a midget, it's it's not offensive most times because they're usually cool with it. I don't know.
I'm not well versed in this topic, Caleb. But I'm very impressed that I led you on to talk about the book and game that we're talking about today, and you proceeded to talk about the word midget and whether or not it's a derogatory slur.
Listen, we're not going to be able to solve this, but I will ask you one question before we go on to the actual topic. I need to know this, Bryce, and I need to know your opinion, and it has to be 100% solid. Would you rather be a giant midget or a small giant? Like a little giant, like basically not a giant. Like a midget.
What do you call
Like
that?
you're a giant, you're
An
like say you're
oxymoron?
10 foot tall, but you have the proportions of a little person, or you're a little person, but you're a giant. Like, I'm not making sense, am I? Fears affecting me.
No. Well, okay, so you're.
We have to break this down. So, what's a giant midget? It is a small proportions, very tall, huge. What was that? One of the Marvel movies. Peter Dinklage played a giant midget. So, like that, or would you rather be a little giant? So you'd have like freakishly long arms and legs, but you'd be like small statured.
I guess probably
Weird.
a giant midget. I feel. I think. So if you're a small giant, then you're still big, but
But you're like 3 foot tall, but you're proportioned.
What'd you say? 3 foot tall?
Well, you're a small giant, so your limbs are proportioned. This is where it is. Your head and limbs are proportioned. But you're just, you're small in stature.
That just sounds like a small, like regular sized person.
I don't know. I didn't think it through.
If you're proportion, because like I think the thing is giants are proportioned. They're just giant people, right? So if you're a small giant, you're just a person.
Yeah, but what if you look like one of those people that have the pituitary gland tumor, and their heads real big, like it's malformed, and they have knee problems and heart problems.
So
and they're all fucking rickety.
Big Fish guy,
Like who?
the guy from Big Fish.
Yeah, exactly, just like him. Oh, I can't remember his name now. I always liked that guy. He
but
was in the
smaller?
House of a Thousand Corpses.
But smaller than him is what you're saying?
You look exactly like that guy,
Oh,
but you'd be 3 foot tall.
yeah. No, I'd go giant midget.
You can't say midget. That's a slur, dude.
Giant small person.
Giant little person. That's an oxymoron. See, I like causing trouble like that. And if we ever get listeners on this podcast, they will appreciate it. I think this is when we need a Patreon for Patreon only podcast. So if you're paying, this is what you get.
This is going to take me like 13 hours to edit.
If you take any of this out, I am done with the podcast. We're leaving it in, Bryce. God darn it. See, I didn't blaspheme.
So we're
Okay,
talking about A
so-
Christmas Carol and Die Hard for NES today, and this beer tastes exactly like it's described.
Okay. What did that have to do with Christmas Carol and Die Hard?
Absolutely nothing, but it tastes just like pecan, cinnamon, and maple syrup. It's delicious. It's delectable, and I highly recommend.
This
Tyson's
Mad Elf-
Grandma by Aslan Beer Company.
This Mad Elf tastes like burning.
Burning? Burning.
I don't know. I don't remember what it's supposed to taste like. Cranberries or some shit. It don't taste like anything it's supposed to taste like. Cranberries and nutmeg, maybe. I don't know. I just taste. It tastes like a barley wine. Maybe it is a barley wine or a Belgian. I don't know. I forget.
I brought you some Aslan beers, right?
You bought me one, and it was I think an IPA, and it was pretty good.
Which one? Do you remember what it was? What was it like?
I do not
forget.
remember. You brought me two. I think they were expired.
No, they were low. They were low filler dented, just like
Okay.
this one.
You brought me dented cans of beer and said, "Here, drink this."
Well, I don't remember. In my recollection, they weren't the most special of the Aslan beers.
But they were
But man,
tasty.
I've had some really good ones lately though. I gotta bring you more whenever I get to go back to your house. They're
Hey, if
really,
I didn't have a fucking hunk of shit Jeep that could drive more than a couple miles, I
yeah,
would definitely drive up there and on the weekend and get me some Aslan beers.
yeah. When are you gonna get a new car, Caleb?
I don't know. I just bought $1,000 worth of tires on it, and I could get a new car, but I don't want to like blow through my savings to get a fucking vehicle that I use to get places and end up one of those people who only go to work to pay for the vehicle that gets me to work and then pay for the house that I'm never at because I'm at work. I don't
You
want
know
to be that
what?
guy.
Think of it as a podcast investment. I'm buying this car for Arcade Bookshop. I am driving to Bryce's house to serve 9 listeners every week.
Shut up, Bryce. You just gave me a great idea. If I make DPW an LLC and I start the podcast slash convention circuit again, because we used to actually interview people and go to conventions and cover them as press. Like I did that. We did that for years when we had the website up. If I could get the podcast as that, maybe I could use it as a business expense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think even I was talking to my friend at work about this because he thinks about that shit all the time. I think even now, even though we're not profiting anything, I think we can claim things as business expenses. I just don't know how it works. You have to claim a loss, as all, and I don't know how that works.
But you have to be an LLC though, right? To do that, or is that just because you have employees? Maybe that's just if you have
No,
employees.
I don't think so.
Because I have a
I don't know.
DBA for DPW, like my bank account. That's because when we were when we had the literary magazine online, we had like donations and stuff. We were nonprofit, but we had donations, and people would give us donations and stuff.
Hmm.
So I had a separate bank account for that, and had a DBA under Drunken Pen. I had a business card. I felt real fancy. Still do actually. I could probably still use that, but I where was I going with this? Oh, I never thought about like, hey, maybe we can get some tax breaks on some shit. I'm sure you can't get a free car, but you could probably get a tax break because I know there's a lot of you see them all the time. Like Moe's has Moe's vehicle that just sits parked all the time. I don't even know if they use it. There's a Crazy Horse Coffee by me that has fucking really it's got to be like an $80,000 pickup truck, hunter green, and it has Crazy Horse along the side. And I feel because it's always just sitting too. I feel like they use some kind of tax break to buy that, like a
Wait,
business expense.
what's Crazy Horse?
It's a coffee shop. I
Okay,
think there's a couple of them. I know there's
sounded.
one up my way.
I know Crazy Mocha.
No, it's called Crazy Horse. There's at least two of them. I'm pretty sure it's like a small chain or something
Okay.
around here.
Well, speaking of that, I had a funny thing today. Today was our office Christmas party, um, and I work at this relocation company, and so basically we have clients like we have like big name clients like Netflix and Dr. Pepper Dr. Pepper Snapple Dr. Pepper Snapple Company. Uh,
They say it so fast.
my brother always does that, so I have it in my head that you have to say it fast. Dr. Pepper Snapple Company.
Okay.
Um, no, we have like government clients. Um, anyway, basically we just like move people from place to place based on what their company where their company wants them to be. Like anyway, yeah, we just help people move. But we were having our party and we were eating and we looked outside and we are like, whose like kidnapping van is that outside parked there? And and our supervisor was like, oh, that's the heirs van. And this guy on my team was like, he was like, we bring the relocation to you. It struck me super funny because that makes absolutely no sense.
It does not. You know what I'm picturing? Like a fucking, even though I'm not a, fast car guy or anything, I'm picturing like a gold Hellcat with the DPW logo slapped on the side.
Hellcat.
It's one of those real. It's what people in the fucking army always get. It's like the new version of a Camaro. Like it's what people, young teenagers who get into the army after high school, buy for some reason.
Do you dream more about DPW than Arcade Bookshop, Caleb?
Dream? Define dream, like my actual unconscious state or in real life?
Your fantasies about your success.
Oh, I fantasize about dumping both and becoming a multi-million-dollar award-winning author. Not talking to anybody ever again.
It's
while I
nice
live
to
in my
know that
mansion with a
you're
giant library.
very willing to just betray everyone that's in your life.
Fuck you guys! And then I end up alone on a beach drinking myself to death. No, DPW, I almost ended last year because I got really tired of doing it. Not because I don't like talking to people or just the work. I mean, you've obviously got a taste of it with Arcade Bookshop. You do more because you do the videos and stuff. I don't do the videos, but it gets tedious over time. And I really just didn't want to do it anymore. But then, I don't know, we just got like a surge in popularity and stuff, and it just kind of boosted my desire to do it. But I wouldn't mind a break probably sometime, but I feel like the only thing we have going is consistency. The consistency is what's keeping us afloat. I always feel, I don't know if this is true, but if we miss an episode, we'll go under and we'll never get any listeners again.
I don't know. I'm behind, but your interviews have been getting really good.
Yeah, I don't know why people want to be on. I'm such a douche too, because I have like 3 or 4 people, like publicists, who've emailed me, some even multiple times, about getting whoever they're working for to come on the podcast, and I just haven't responded yet. So I'm thinking of just waiting for the new year. But like I've got like an award-winning New York Times best-selling author who's had fucking Netflix movies and shit based off of their work, and they want to be on the podcast. I have a couple other people that are just like, just good authors. The problem too I have is I don't have time to read their books. Even when they send me the free books, it's usually like a week before they come on the podcast. I just don't have time to read it. And I always feel like it's not genuine, like I'm interviewing you, but I don't know if you're a good writer. So I have to just play, which I guess is probably a good thing because I'm not being biased. Like, oh, this person sucks ass. And I don't feel like I'm just like pretending they're good, or this person's really good and now I'm jealous, or something like that. But I would like to read people's work before they come on. I just don't have the time.
Yeah, I felt that way about it's hard. I felt that way about interviewing David, but
his book is fucking huge.
It's so big. It's like and I know I bought it in September, but we were reading stuff for our episodes already, well,
that's the thing. We're still reading the Divine Comedy. I'm not even through the fucking Inferno yet.
Yeah. Which, by the way, fuck you for making me think you finished the whole thing in a weekend. I fully believed
really sold
you
on that, didn't I?
It's completely. I told all my friends.
I definitely know I made you feel like a fucking, like you were remedial reading level, because I was like, you're not done with the Inferno yet? I fucking finished the whole thing.
The thing
I sold
is,
it really well, I think.
You do shit like that, though. Like, I know it took you a while to read Don Quixote, but you read so many epic poems this year. I was thinking like, oh, he got used to reading epic poems this year, all the classic mythology and stuff. I was like, he figured out how to read it, and he got through it all really fast. Because like you said, like the Divine Comedy is like it's like, I mean, for you, didn't you say it's kind of like the build-up of all the stuff that you've read this year already, so you can understand it all pretty well? Aside from the references to like culture and stuff.
It's actually really easy for me to read, but it's like the Iliad and the Odyssey are kind of fun because, there's war and mythology and stuff. The Divine Comedy, while I'm enjoying it, reads like I'm doing homework.
Yeah.
Like I have to, I have a test coming up and I need to read it in that kind of way. So while I'm enjoying it, I can only read a couple cantos at a time, and it takes me, not even joking, with the notes and actually understanding it, maybe 5 minutes a canto. but that only I read 10 minutes and then I'm like, okay, I don't feel like reading this right now. Like I
Yeah.
keep doing that, so I'm not even through the Inferno yet, and I don't know exactly what it is because like at least the translation we have, um, language wise, it's a lot easier than I found the Iliad
Mm.
and the Aeneid was especially like Virgil. It was fucking. It was written beautifully, but goddamn, I was bored out of my mind. Like I just couldn't get my like. It was homework times 50. I just could not care about it. And I'm starting to get to that point now where it's like I get all the allegory and stuff. I just don't feel like I almost want to just read the intros that are on every canto and just be like, okay, I get what's going on.
Yeah. And I don't want to talk about this too much and spoil the episode that we actually do, but I was thinking that too because he summarizes the whole thing up front, and then you actually read his translation of Dante's work, of his canto, right?
The frustrating thing for me is that he all like Dante always touched on cool things that were going to happen or were happening, like with the people in hell, and then it just went to other shit. It always goes to other shit. So it's like, oh, we got this sinner and he's getting boiled alive and demons are ripping him, limb from limb. But then we're just going to talk about politics from
Yeah.
whatever
Right.
1500s Italy. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's
oh,
weird.
god damn it. Like, I want the cool shit. I don't care about the politics.
Yeah. It's almost like, again, I don't want to talk about it too much and ruin your episode, or the crossover episode, but it's like, I almost said diuretic. It's like a diary.
Diarrhea. Makes you piss and shit.
It's like it's very diarrhea like. No, but
No,
like
it's not. It's not
it's
diarrhea like.
it's like a diary though. Like it's as if he's saying this is what this part of hell is like, and also I wonder what like this is my imagination of what this guy that I know in real life would be suffering like in hell.
Yeah. It's just basically, if you look at it as Dante's fan fiction, he's hanging out with his favorite celebrity and he's going on a weird adventure based off of Virgil's The Aeneid because Aeneas in that, which copies Ulysses from the Odyssey, Odysseus. I'm going Roman because we're in Latin now. So Odysseus went to the underworld and basically had the experiences Dante's having, kind of like the way he talks to the souls, and basically the rules of the Divine Comedy were set in the Odyssey, which Virgil cribbed for the Aeneid or the Aeneid, and now Dante's using the same thing. So it's like I read the same book 3 times almost in a row. So that's what's kind of killing me. And I'm really worried for the exact reason I just said about, he keeps going into the politics and just all the shit I don't care about. What happens when we're out of the Inferno and we go to the Purgatorio and stuff? Like, am I really just going to be bored out of my mind?
I
Because now the
know.
cool shit's not even going to be in it.
Yeah.
Now it's just going to be what? Dumb stuff?
I've
Like,
thought of
stuff
that
I really
too,
don't care
because
about?
I can't imagine how interesting the Purgatorio is. Because I mean, when you think of purgatory, I mean, I'm sure it's different, but all the references that I know of purgatory, it's just a blank white space. Um, and I'm sure that's not what it is, because that would be fucking actually boring. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you know of it. I don't know anything about the actual story of purgatory and like Catholicism or whatever. But yeah, I had the same fear because I was like, oh, finally I fucking finished the Inferno, and now I have 2 more of these to to get through.
It's going to be confusing because, so the Inferno's hell. So we get all that stuff and the allegory that goes along with that. Fine. We get to Purgatorio, it has to just be philosophy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And just like, the religious aspects of the time. And I don't see it being, because hell is human reasoning. And then when he goes to purgatory, he leaves human reasoning behind, aka Virgil. He leaves them behind. So what the fuck are we gonna have? Divine knowledge, or is that gonna be in the Paradiso or whatever the fucking last one is? Paradiso. I don't even know what that one is. Heaven, but I don't know what that. I feel like I'm gonna be massively bored. and there's a reason why everybody talks about the Inferno, and every games are made from the Inferno, movies are from the Inferno, everything's from the Inferno, references to the Inferno. None of the other stuff. You don't
Yeah,
hear about the other two,
yeah. I
which are like 800 more pages or something, like 600 pages.
I don't even know when I realized that it's a trilogy. Like, you always hear Dante's Inferno,
Yeah.
which is funny because it's not called Dante's Inferno. It's
No, it's
called
the Divine Comedy,
it's
which is
called
a great name.
The
by the way.
Divine Comedy or The Inferno by Dante Alighieri, or however you say it,
That's close enough.
Alighieri. But
Alighieri. You got to do this with your fingers. Alighieri.
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 But yeah, like nobody, unless it's an intellectual circle, do they talk about they talk
Like-
about the oh my god, what's it called? The Purgatorio
Yeah.
or the Paradiso.
I feel like we're heading into scholarship area where it's just academic blobbity gookity gookity gak.
Yeah, so you know what? We never do this, but since this episode is going to be 3 fucking hours long, why don't we why don't we take a break and we'll come back and we'll actually talk about the topic at hand.
I concur.
All right, cuz I got a pee pee.
Ew, got your wee wee.
Yeah. All right, we'll be back.
Back again with the fungal sack.
Chipping away, chipping away.
Nobody mentioned my cool sweater. Polar bear on the skis shooting a rocket launcher.
Polar bears on the skis shooting a rocket launcher. Where the fuck did you get that?
Ridiculous.
We played Die Hard for Nintendo Entertainment System. The original Nintendo. The original Nintendo Die Hard game.
Or Nintendo.
NES. Do you guys know what that means?
Is there a point coming, or are we just
No.
gonna say the words?
I'm just rambling here.
All right, so I started playing the game, I think before you did, Bryce, and I immediately texted you something along the lines of "fuck this game. This game is impossible. No one can ever beat this game." Am I correct in that statement?
Something like that, yeah.
Because I played advanced mode right off the bat. It's like NES, fuck, it can't be too hard. It was astronomically hard. So I went to beginner mode, and I died 400 times in about not even 2 minutes. But then I decided I'm not going to shoot anybody. I'm just going to run in a couple circles and figure out how to play this game with its 2 working buttons. And then I beat it within 45 minutes. And
I don't know.
I didn't know what I was doing. All I did was run around an office building, shooting everything I saw, and did not know what my objective was. Didn't know what I was doing. I just figured I need to go to the roof. That's all I have to do, right? Go to the roof and just go into any doors or anything I haven't gone in before. That's how I did it, and I beat it very easily. And then I told you, oh, that wasn't so bad actually. And then you just proceeded to fucking die for 8 hours straight.
Dude, I don't know how you did that. I didn't even try playing it on the hard mode. I just went straight for the easy or whatever, beginner or whatever. And man, I fucking had just complete and utter misery the entire game. I could not figure that shit out. I even followed a walkthrough and couldn't beat it.
I don't know how I beat it so easily. I found that there were soda machines you could blow up and get health. I found that very early, so that probably saved me.
I found that very late.
And I accidentally found, because apparently if you step on glass, which on I think the second level that I went to, you step on glass like the movie, and then you walk really slow. I wasn't walking super slow. I didn't even know you told me there was some kind of glass in the foot meter. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was walking
if you press
moderately
pause,
fast.
there's a what's it called? Yeah, a foot meter. And if it depletes, then it moves as though the game is like freezing and like lagging real bad. It's just unbearable. And
See,
that
I never got to that. I just was at a slow jog after that level, and then not too long I was fucking around in the vents, and I found a health thing that fixed my feet, and then I was just speeding through. I just flew through the rest of it. Near the end of the game, though, there is a I don't know, a gauntlet of sorts. There's like 800 guys that just come at you at once with guns. And somehow I was like, oh, I'm going to die immediately, right? And apparently you could fall out of a window. You told me. I didn't know you could fall out of a
Yeah.
window, but I maneuvered in such a weird way to the left that I spun around and shot the two, because I remember it was very vivid. I shot two guys at the top of the screen as I did a spin John Wick style, and then I must have curved a bullet, and I went to a bunch of guys came out of the elevator, and I killed everybody in one go. And I had 1 bar of health left. I got 2 bars of life. And then I went and found there was a hostage situation, and I capped this sucker in there. And I'm not kidding when I say this. I beat the game with 1 bar of health, 1 bullet, and I was dead. And I don't know what the restart was like, because I don't know. I never, other than the 50 times I died immediately, I don't know if you died later in the game, if you just restarted the level or whatever, because I didn't die. I just kept going and going. And I'm the fucking man.
So I have a question I want to ask you. So put a pin in that. But basically, this game, just so everyone has the foreknowledge before we continue too far about what this game is actually about, and whether or not it's like close to the movie or not. Because if you don't know, which I hope you do, the Die Hard video game is about the Die Hard movie with Bruce Willis,
Pretty much the same, yeah.
and Professor Snape, and
Very good.
and
Rest in peace, Alan Rickman.
That's
his name.
Alan Rickman. And so basically, as you know from the Die Hard movie, hopefully, what's his fucking name? What's Bruce Willis's character's name? I can't think.
Herman.
Come on.
Daryl. Kofi.
Anyway.
Bye.
John McClane.
Glenn.
John is.
Why did I not remember that?
I don't know. It's so basic.
To be fair, I haven't listened or watched that movie in so long.
I know. I tried to watch it
there's
before
no reason not to know that.
Yeah, I tried to watch it before we played, but it's not on anything right now. I don't know why, but anyway.
Yippee-ki-yay,
so
motherfucker.
word and John McClane is like coming to see his wife in the Nakamura building or something like that. Nakamoto.
He's a hot piece too.
Yeah, and and then terrorists show up. So basically, in the game, you're just patrolling these like 4 or 5 floors of this building, this office building, and you have to just eliminate the like terrorists that have guns, and you have to prevent the the hacker guy from unlocking all the locks to the bank vault or whatever like that, whatever it is, the unlocking all the locks, and as soon as all the locks are unlocked, the game is over. So you have to do it real fast, and we'll get to that more later. But so I said I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
Now I have to think of what it is, and let me.
Well, can I counter with the question while you think?
Okay.
How much would someone have to pay you to be a terrorist that is just basically just a henchman, and you have to go against a one-man wrecking crew that you watched them kill 20 guys in a row, and you're 21? How much would somebody have to pay you to go try to shoot that guy?
A lot? I don't know. I mean, I guess I would just assume that I'm there because I'm unlocking this vault that has an inordinate amount of money, and I'm going to get a good portion of that. So risking my life is I've already evaluated that risking my life is worth it at that point.
How many terrorists do you have to kill? 40?
Yeah, 40.
That's a lot to split up. 40 guys aren't getting that cut. Like, if you're one of the henchmen, you have to know you're not getting that money.
Right.
But I'm sure they're counting on most of those guys dying.
See, I don't know if there were 40 in the movie. That's just the game. I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But, well, the question, if you're okay, I wanted to move on to my question for you. When you beat the game, did you just kill all the 40 henchmen? Or what happened?
Sorry, I'm bibbing myself. I got a mustache full of Mad Elf.
It looks pleasant.
So what had happened was a done gun shot me 40 henchmen in the face. Killed them all. I actually blew up a couple groups of them when I figured out the C4, but I did not use that very much because I almost killed myself once, and I was like, "Fuck this!" Didn't even know how to use the rocket launcher. I think we did. You mentioned like how the fuck do you switch weapons? Like it was stupid, but I there was some objectives you can follow when the guy, which I don't know why John McClane, I forget. There actually was an answer to that, but the bad guy was his name Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
The bad guy, Hans Gruber, he will tell you basically, oh, we're going to the 5th floor to break into such and such. And then you go to the 5th floor. And then he's like, no, John McClane's listening in somehow. So that explains that. But I did follow those, but I found that I like vastly went past where I was supposed to. So I went to each floor and killed the fuck out of everybody before he even made those announcements. So I would go to the floor that he would say, and there would be nobody there because I killed them all. And so I didn't know what to do for a while. I was just running around. But I was like, okay, on the start screen, there's a bunch of like 4 or 5 like key cards or something. I was like, I'll make sure I get those. And if you get shot, you drop it. So I always was like, okay, pick that up. So I made sure I had all the key cards or whatever they were. And then I just like shot through all the locked doors to find life and whatever was in there. And then I did like near the end, I got lost for a while. I was like, oh shit, what do I do? Am I going to fucking lose because I don't like is time running out? And then I got to the roof. I crawled around a bunch. And then that's when I got to the gauntlet. So I ended up killing everybody. And then the bad guy has your wife hostage and you have a shootout with him. And then I don't remember if I don't even remember the end of that game. Like, did I go to the roof? I don't remember. I think I went to the roof. Maybe you shoot a rocket at a helicopter. I honestly do not remember. It was very shitty, but I beat it fairly quickly.
I watched a video of the end of the game, kind of, and I think you have to go to the
ending
roof.
Was stupid too, by the way.
I think you have to go to the roof to take that like rope or the fire hose or whatever to get
you
into
go through the window
to get into the room that has Hans in it, right?
You break through the window, and that's where the gauntlet is. You shoot everybody, and then a room to the right has like you go in there, and there's a guy holding your wife, and he lets her go, and then he like fucking shoots a whole bunch, and you try to avoid the bullets. I would like to see a speed run of it, or not a speed run, one of those don't get hit runs, because that'd be very impressive. But I don't know how you can do this without getting hit, because I got hit at least once. And like I said, I barely had any life, so I managed to survive with 1 bar. If I got hit again, I would have died. But I don't know how anyone would avoid getting hit at least once. But I did. They get to shoot the guy like 10 times, and he dies. And that was like it. But maybe that wasn't it. I don't think you did go back on the roof. I think that was it.
Yeah,
I feel like I was in my brain. I made a story where that rocket launcher thing you get at some point, like you get like a rocket. I was like, oh, I'm going to use this to shoot a helicopter on the roof. I think my brain like coupled that together because the game's actually pretty fucking boring.
No,
by the way, just mechanics wise, it's an overhead view the whole time. So think of the original Grand Theft Auto games where it was overhead. Right. Not that fun.
Yeah. The rocket is only for destroying the computer system, which is temporary, which makes absolutely no fucking sense.
I didn't do that.
No, yeah, you go down to floor 4, I think, and that's where the computer system is. And did you get like you got the rocket, right?
Yeah, I got the rocket.
And you got the map that showed like that C on it or something?
Did not get the map, no.
It wasn't the same floor as the rocket.
I definitely didn't get a map, or if I did, I didn't know how to look at it.
It's in the start menu. So like you get the rocket and the map in the same floor on I don't know what floor it is, but it's the same floor, and it's a map of floor 4. So you go down.
Did I just straight up Mr. Magoo this game and just fucking blindly beat it?
Yeah, because that's the shit that you do. I don't get it. I don't know how you do that. Like
You see me play these games where I've done this though. It's like it's
Yeah.
not a mystery. I could beat it. I mean, I'm sure the NES version of Die Hard is not very sophisticated. You could beat it probably like I did without doing what you're supposed to, but I do not remember a map. I remember the rock. I mean, I must have blown up a computer, I guess, but I don't remember actively doing that on purpose.
I could probably, now that I'm familiar with what it is, I could probably go back and do it. It's just not worth it. But yeah, basically, you get the map and you get the rocket. The map is for floor 4. You take the security or the I guess the security elevator or whatever. You take the main elevator down to floor 4. It's like a storage area, but there's like a for some unknown ridiculous reason, there's a rocket launcher down there, and
Somebody dropped it.
You stuff the rocket in there, and then you have to aim the rocket in the right direction that the map shows you where the C is, because the C stands for computer, I guess. So you aim it towards the C on the map. So it's either it's an NES game, so you either get like straight, like horizontal or vertical aims, or like precise diagonal aims. So it's like east, south, west, north, or northwest.
Bryce, I could 100% full fact. I did not do that.
Yeah, well, you don't need to.
Thing I did.
You don't need to, but basically it saves you some time. So if you,
I beat it the hard way.
Yeah. So when you fire the rocket,
45 minutes the hard way. Did I set a speed run record accidentally?
I don't get it. So and that's something I want to touch on too in a second. You fire the rocket at the C on the map, and when you fire it in the right direction, it destroys the computer. The computer is the thing that that hacker is working on to unlock all the locks, right? So It saves you like something like 2 minutes or something before he makes any more progress.
I didn't even know the game was timed.
Yeah, and that's why I lost.
Until
Twice.
You told me you lost that way. I did not know the game was timed. I thought I was just doing really I just take my time and shoot everybody. That's all I did.
Yeah, I remember one time I texted you. I was like, "My time's about to run out," and you're like, "I don't think it matters." And then I was
when
like,
I
"Okay."
started the game, I was having a very bad time. I did not enjoy it, so I was like, "I'm just gonna try to beat this as fast as possible with just cutting any corners I can." And I just literally just shot everybody, and I beat the game. That's all I did. It was rocket science.
And I was hoping that was the case. Like, if you just killed everybody, that it would just end. But it didn't. And I had to maneuver my way as best as I could through each floor and, stalk all the henchmen there and try to find them and kill them all. I never killed them all. And then I ran out of... my foot meter ran out. And I had
the fuck? Your foot meter?
And and then I was moving so slow, and I had already used all of the foot health that's provided in the game. And
how did you have so many problems that I didn't have?
I'm bad at video games, Caleb. I'm bad at them. And I can't.
All you had to do is shoot everybody. I just went floor to floor and killed everybody I saw on the floor, and then I beat the game. Like I went to floor and just killed everybody, and then I followed some kind of predestined trajectory where it was like, hey, go to the 5th floor, get this, get that. I just went and killed everybody that I saw, and then it was very easy.
Well,
most of the game I spent just running around an empty building.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. It took me like 45 minutes to figure out that the vending machines, if you destroyed them, they dropped sodas to give you health.
Convenient.
Which I don't remember him drinking soda in the movie. Maybe he did, but I don't.
I found that immediately.
Yeah, I did not. The thing is, I saw them flashing, but I didn't want to waste my ammo because the ammo is like kind of hard.
You want to go around punching everybody?
Yeah, because I would just die. But anyway, to address the C4, I remember I was telling you that I couldn't figure out how to switch weapons to the C4. Well, you have to pick up Which you probably had no problem because you're just amazing at all video games just naturally, no matter what. But you have to
I am
pick up.
good.
You have to actually pick up detonators from enemies in order to actually use the C4. So it won't even let you switch to C4 even if you have C4 in your inventory until you get a detonator.
Oh, I had a shit ton of detonators. I didn't know how I got them, but I
Dude,
had a
the first
lot of
time I played, I didn't get. I went through every single floor, didn't get one detonator. I don't know
Did
what
you
was.
shoot through the locked doors?
Yeah,
Huh.
I don't know
I don't
what
know.
was going on. I don't think I even once used C4 to open up. Did you do that? Use C4 to open up doors that you couldn't shoot open?
Didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah. Well, didn't you notice that? Didn't you notice that you couldn't shoot some doors open?
I honestly didn't even care to explore most of the game.
I just forgot that my beer
There was
was in my
actually only
mug.
one floor that I shot any doors open, and that was, I don't know if it's supposed to be like the main floor at the first floor, whatever it was. It with the was it a Christmas tree? I don't remember, but like there was like a main floor. I shot a couple doors open, and then I realized, oh, it's just health and stuff in here. I don't care. My goal was I don't care if I die. I am just not getting um like I don't care about the health bonuses and stuff other than the soda machines. I shot through a couple doors and realized, oh, there's nothing really in here, and I just kept trying to get to I went to the roof like 50 times. I was like, oh, the ending it must be the roof, and I kept going to the roof, and then I realized you had to do the rappel down to through the window, and then I was like, oh, and then the game ended. I don't know. I was drinking when I played this. I was drinking a bit, so I don't really remember what I did other than beat it easily.
Dude, I don't know, but next time I
Not
come
that
to your
hard of a game,
house,
Bryce. Not that hard. You ever play fucking Contra? You know what would make Die Hard better? The Contra guys.
it would. It would.
It
Next
would.
time
It
I
would.
come to your house, we're gonna beat that fucking Mario mod. Super Mario
Oh,
World
we're
mod.
almost done with that. We're like at the
Yeah.
last like 2 or 3 levels. It's just so. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a hacked, a modded version of. Is it just Super Mario? And then
Super
it's
Mario World.
yeah, Super Mario World, but it's Super Mario Birthday, and it is fucking atrociously hard.
Yeah.
We have to use save states just to get through like half of it.
And it's all brown.
Everything's brown.
Yeah.
Chocolate. It's chocolate.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
Shut up. Don't worry about it.
I want to know.
I didn't like get another beer, so I've had this for probably 5 to 10 years now. It is a word I can't pronounce because it's in cursive in another language. I'm gonna say offhead. Schlotting aka Schwartz. Fuck. You would know this better than me.
Yeah, let me
'cause
see it.
I never learned German.
Let me see it.
Well, let me say it first, and then I'll show you. Schwarzenwalder,
Schwarzenwalder.
Benerai, Williamsburn, Schwarzenwalder. It is basically just a pear brandy. I got it a long time ago. It's very fancy. I don't know if you can see it.
Schlotterer. Schwarzenwalder.
Not Fartenswalder.
House Brennerei. Schwarzenwalder Williamsbirne. Black. Oh yeah.
Glockenschlagenjürgen.
It said. Wait, show it to me again.
The bottom.
Yeah, it says. Yeah, Black Forest Williams pear brandy. That's what it means.
It is really, really like the smell is 100% like you bit into a really ripe pear and smelled it. Like it's so good.
Mm.
It's been at least a year and a half since I've drank any of this. It's only half. There's half a bottle left, so that I got this. It had to be at the latest 2015. Like I've had this for a long time.
Damn.
It's my Christmas booze.
That sounds good. I like pear shit.
Oh, it is so fucking good. It tastes just like a fucking juicy pear if you lit it on fire.
Oh yeah. I love pear shit.
Ew. Schlotterer. How do you say schlotterer?
Let me see it again.
Schlod.
Let me see it again.
Schlod. ERER.
I think it's a Schlotterer.
Schlotterer.
I think
It's
so.
funny because, for those who don't know, my last name is actually German. But I can't pronounce German words for shit because I don't know German, but I know
Ooh,
Spanish, Irish, and Japanese.
dude, this is so good.
What are you drinking there, buddy?
This one, oh man, I love this. This one's called it's another Aslan beer. This one's called Durango Doug. Sour
Doug?
ale brewed with raspberry, blackberry, strawberry, hazelnut, maple, and marshmallow. Dude, it's fucking delicious. I have to bring you one of these sometime.
Here's what we're gonna do, dick face. Sorry, that was harsh. You're
I
you're
spilled on
gonna bring me a
myself.
bunch of Aslan beers, and I'm gonna give you cases of beer in return. Does that sound like a fair trade?
Yeah, because I get most like when I get come January, I'll have a bunch of Aslan bucks. Because another perk that I get is they give you
Aslan bucks.
yeah, they give you you get when you get hired, you get a gift card, and
Ooh,
they give you $1 for every hour that you've worked the previous month. So I get to just spend it on Aslan shit. So I usually just buy beer or like a hat or something like that.
very nice. Hey, what are you gonna do if this becomes our most popular episode and it turns out the formula for our success is to get drunk on every episode?
Dude, my friend at work suggested that to me as well, and I was like, I don't fucking know, man. I guess we're just fucking getting drunk every day. Like
I can't do that. I already have Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. Mine
I
is literally
know.
in the name.
Didn't you tell me that Spencer only drinks water?
Water or Gatorade. Every once in a while we'll give him a little. Like if we have a special, we'll give him a little bit of whiskey or something. When I think for Edgar Allan Poe, we did our I do an annual Edgar Allan Poe test. Fucking can't speak. I'm drunk. I do an annual Edgar Allan Poe toast for Halloween, and I usually do brandy. What I like is actually you get brandy and you warm up, you pour honey in it and warm it up over the stove. It's really good. But this year we did absinthe. I had a little bit of, actually, it wasn't the butterfly absinthe, which is really good, but
Oh,
expensive. It's like $90 or something.
my beard
I
just got
got
stuck in my
fuck
mic.
$90 in 2016. It's probably $4,000 now. I got a bottle of clandestine. I think it's from Switzerland. It is a not green. It's a clear or blue absinthe. I don't remember, but it's really, really good. And we did the toast with that this year, and Spencer tried a little, and it makes your tongue numb and stuff. Spencer has Crohn's, so he can't
Oh.
drink a lot of booze because it'll make him fucking sick.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, he can't drink booze anymore, which kind of sucks because at the beginning, if you listen to the first episodes of Drunken Pen Writing, we always had a shot or a cocktail at the beginning. Oh, what are we drinking today? We're drinking, and it was a fucking dumb gimmick. Nobody give a shit, and we abandoned it very quickly. But we would always like, I would buy like a fucking $100 bottle of scotch or something, and it was really stupid. But yeah, so that's the reason why he mainly drinks water and stuff on the podcast. But me, I will buy on booze of sorts. I'm drinking out of a straight bottle of fucking really expensive brandy. I'm pretty sure this was like an $80 bottle of brandy. I'm just drinking out of it, not even mixing it with anything.
Well, that's dedication. That's what that is.
I went through a phase. Oh my god, it burns. I went through a phase where I was buying really expensive for our price range expensive. I think anything under $200 is from $100 to $200 is an expensive bottle of booze for me. I don't know about you, Bryce. Maybe you're a baller, but I think if
No.
I'm spending $140 on a bottle of booze, that's expensive.
Yes.
Especially for something you're gonna fucking piss out.
Uh-huh.
So, but I went for a period where I was buying a lot of these things. I was buying, like some Hibiki Harmony Japanese. Oh, so fucking good. I'm so mad because I finally ran out of that this year. I drank the rest of it, and I'm like, God damn it! I want another bottle, and I cannot find it. And because we live in the grand state of Pennsylvania, you have to special order booze, and they send it to a liquor store, a wine and spirits in our area, and it's very, very annoying. You can't just be like, oh, I want to buy this bottle of booze. No. So if I want a fancy bottle of absinthe, I have to special order it from Switzerland to the wine store. I can't just go on a website and have it shipped to my house. Maybe you can now, but I feel like you still can't. I have booze shipped to my house, but I think it was under the table kind of deal. Like I got a bottle of really, I think you might have tried it. It was some kind of mead. I forget what it was. It was like a really good mead I ordered over the summer, and it actually shipped to my house. But usually in Pennsylvania, at least for the longest time, you had to get it through the state store, and it was very annoying. Let's talk about Christmas Carol because I'm rambling.
Well, real quick,
Die Hard sucks. We're not talking about Die Hard no more.
No, yeah,
You didn't beat it. You can't talk about it, Bryce. You didn't beat it.
I was gonna mention something, but I won't.
Just say you fucking failed, and you for some
I
reason
failed at
will
Die
not beat
Hard.
the game.
No, but you know what? I think we can talk about. We've talked about the game, and real quick, I do want to say. So I have notes. I don't want to miss them because I think all my notes are relevant.
Oh my god, you made notes for Die Hard.
I made notes for everything because I just don't want to forget like key points. So
you
we
made a
talked
page
about
of notes for David Craddock, and we did 2 of them. Like
I
two of the
know.
question.
I know, but I just we talked about Die Hard for like maybe 30, maybe 20 minutes, and then we talked about alcohol. So which is fun, but I want to make sure we do a thorough reading here. So, and then we can talk about the movie a little bit too.
Okay.
So first of all, we talked about the C4, we talked about the locks, we talked about the foot meter. The elevator. Did you use the elevators?
Oh, I use the elevator.
You used the elevator. They were a little bit too realistic for my liking in an 8-bit game. I thought that. So you're making eyebrows at me like I'm fucking crazy, and I don't appreciate it. And because my experience with the elevators was that I had to actually wait for the elevators as if I was waiting for an elevator. And this is an NES game from like 1980, I don't know, 88 or something. I don't want to be waiting for an elevator in real life time.
I waited for the elevator 1, maybe 2 times.
Oh, well, you just said you used the elevators as if you used them, like really.
I did. I used
You
the
were
stairs
jamming
one
those
time,
fucking
and I was like, "Why
elevators.
use the stairs when there's a fucking elevator?"
Because the stairs are fucking faster.
The elevator came to me immediately, almost every time.
Let me tell you, not for me. It took fucking forever.
Can we establish something real quick? What did you play this on?
I played an emulator.
I don't understand why yours was such a different experience than mine.
I mean,
I had such an easy go of it.
I don't know. I mean, I played
Even
it on
the advanced mode, I was able to get the elevator a bunch of times, like right off the bat.
I don't
never
know,
waited.
dude. I don't know. And I think especially
Did you take the stairs at all?
I did mostly, but occasionally I was closer to the elevator than like, because like certain floors there's only the elevator on the one side, and then to get to the stairs you have to walk around a bunch of shit. So I used the elevator in that case because it was closer. But yeah, and I don't know, and like I think maybe the regular elevator was a little bit faster than the security elevator, but even so.
There's a regular elevator and a security elevator?
Yeah, so the regular elevators are on the left side of the screen, right? The security... Did you not use the security elevator?
I didn't know there was one. I only used one elevator. It was on the left.
If you access this... beard burps. If you access this computer on the one floor, it unlocks the security elevator, which you can take to... I think... I want to say all the... Excuse me. I want to say all the floors. Maybe not. Maybe it's just certain floors. But it's like it goes right down the middle instead of on the left side.
I did not use it. I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, and I think you need it to
I don't need
access.
it because I beat the game without it.
Well, you needed to access the 4th floor for sure, and that's why you didn't get to the rocket launcher.
I did get the rocket launcher.
You got the rocket. You didn't use the rocket launcher.
Oh.
You
So I
ne-
didn't. So I definitely didn't blow up the computer. Then that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I beat the game. Maybe that's why my speed was so well because I
Yeah.
didn't waste my time with that dumb shit that you didn't need to do.
Well, yeah, but regardless, the way I play video games
It's
is
stupid
I'm slow and calculated. You're
and
like,
lose a lot.
yeah, you're like, I'm gonna fucking jam this and I'm gonna get it done now. And I wish I could be that way, but I'm like, I play video games like I play life. Like, like I'm scared, so I go too slow. So I play each floor so deliberately. I mean, in this game, I played each floor so deliberately that I went way too slow, and the time runs out so fast that it was like I'm going through like 2 floors, and he's gotten through 2 locks already. So I mean, it seems that way anyway. Anyway, what was I fucking talking about?
You're just
The
saying
elevators.
you're stuck at the video game, and I'm over here fucking jamming my fat Mickey in
Yeah.
it, just going to
Anyway,
town
my
and beating it
point,
real
my
quick.
point that I was making is that the elevators take too long when you call them. It's
I
like
guess
it's like
you
in real
suck.
life, you press the elevator button and you're waiting like 2 minutes for it to come down because the other people are
Fun
using
fact
it.
is a guy who uses many elevators every day. If you hold the close button and then the floor you want to go to, it is a fire. That's what the firefighters use as an override. It'll take you straight to the floor. So if you're in a 20-story building and you hold the close button and hit the 20th floor, it'll go straight to number 20.
Really? If
Works in my cases, yes.
you've done it,
I do that all the time.
you hold the close button for how long?
And then you just hold it while you hit
Oh,
the
you
floor
hold it
button.
simultaneously?
Yeah.
Interesting. So like if you're in in an elevator with Buddy the Elf and he pushes all of the floors, you don't have to wait for each floor. You can just hold
You would
the
have to
close
do it
button.
first, I think.
Oh, okay. So otherwise, if you're a firefighter and then Buddy the Elf is in there, then you're just fucked and the building burns down.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that I don't know if that works for modern elevators. Like these are elevators that are I don't know how old. So if it's like a brand new building, I don't know if that still works.
So like
I know
auto
that works.
elevators, like
Yeah, like
OTTO.
well, I mean, there's the firefighters have like a key or something too. Like you see it in the elevator, so maybe they just override it that way. But I know that's definitely a hack because I use it all the time, and it like I'll go to some places and it'll stop on every fucking floor. I'm like, God damn it! And on the way down, I'll just do that, and it'll just skip everybody.
Interesting. I'd be interested to try that
Try it at your day job.
at my day job. My day job has 2 floors, so that wouldn't be super interesting. I don't know how well that would work. 'Cause I don't work in the Empire State Building. I work at a small building in
Nobody
Robinson,
cares,
Pittsburgh.
Bryce.
You're right, and I will stop talking about it. And
We need to talk about A Christmas Carol.
well, listen, are you in a hurry, Caleb? Are you in a
I have to
hurry?
pee really bad.
Do you want to take another break?
I'm gonna take a break because I've been drinking copious amounts of booze.
Do you want to finish talking about the movie at least?
Okay.
Okay. Well, real quick about the video game. Uh, what do you think about the music in the Die Hard video game?
Don't remember it. Didn't leave a lasting impression.
Really, it actually did for me.
Really?
It reminded me of the first gen Pokemon games. I mean, I can't like super remember it right now as I'm talking about it, but it had that same like weird.
It's so memorable. I can't remember it.
Well, it just blended in with the Pokemon games. So no, but like it had that like you remember how the original Pokemon, the first gen Pokemon games had that like almost like spooky techno sound sometimes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look, I was so focused on not dying, I don't remember the game.
But like in Pokemon, you remember that? Like I don't know. I just like I it wasn't I agree with you. Like it wasn't the most memorable music, but it did make me feel like it did make me remember grinding through Pokemon and having to like honestly endure that music for so long. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's simultaneously super satisfying to hear that kind of stuff, uh, and extremely irritating, especially when well, I'll get to another point soon, but I I do tend to just I have like a natural liking for all 8-bit music. I can't help it. Even if it's terrible, I love it. I don't know if you agree.
I like 8-bit music. I think it's fun.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. And then I think it works because like if this game was like 30 hours long, that would be fucking miserable cuz it wasn't good 8-bit music. But since I like 8-bit music in general, it worked for this game because and this is another point I want to make. This game, mind you, the movie Die Hard it's over 2 hours long, right? Remember that, Caleb, while you're texting and ignoring me?
I'm actually looking up something very pertinent to our discussion.
Oh, okay. Well, Jesus.
The Die Hard speed run record is
8 minutes.
1 minute 45 seconds.
Holy shit. I mean,
Are you
that's
kidding?
really fast, but I mean, I guess
So,
I guess if you
cannot
go
beat the-
I wonder if you can
How?
go straight to the top floor, like to the roof and then just jump in there. I wonder.
And then all the villains come in there. I don't know. I'll have to watch. The video itself is only 3 minutes and 12 seconds. I don't know how much preamble, but good lord.
Well, I was gonna say, but and this will be my last point. But talking about time, uh, the Die Hard movie, 2 hours and 12 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you can beat this game in a little over a minute, and even if you're not speedrunning it like us, like you beat it in 45 minutes, and you can beat it in even less than that. Like I mean, obviously a minute. Um, it's like an average like 20-minute long video game, honestly. I think howlongtobeat.com it says an hour or two or something like that. Um, I don't understand why they would make it that way. Why would they take a a obviously the story needed to be told even though it's an action story. Obviously it needed to be told over a longer period of time. And they decided to make the video game a time trial. Because I don't think you can spend more than 20 minutes or so on this game. Like, you spent 45 minutes, but I don't think I would imagine you didn't spend a full 45 minutes, right? You probably paused it here and there.
No, I played it straight through.
You think? Was it actually 45 minutes?
I mean, that's what for. Well, no, I was counting from when I started playing the game and died a bunch of times to
Oh.
beating the game.
Okay.
So maybe 30 minutes.
Because, yeah, maybe. Because I think each lock is only like 2 or 3 minutes for the hacker to unlock. So like max, there's 6 locks, so max it's like 18 minutes long, right?
But if you don't know what you're doing, like I didn't know what I was doing, because I probably spent 20 minutes just going through vents and just walking around empty floors because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, I did that. Yeah.
It only took like 10, 15 minutes to kill everybody and get all the shit I was supposed to get.
Yeah. I don't fucking know, man. But that game was hard for me, and I couldn't beat it.
I will say it is a very difficult game until you get used to it because those motherfuckers shoot you in the face.
Yeah. And our last point, before we move on to talking about the movie, which is relevant because this is a game based on a movie, I feel like, ooh, my ring light just
Saw
died.
that. It died. Now you're cloaked in shadow.
I'll have to fix that when we come back. I will say, I feel like, a key part of this game is learning how to spray fire, right? Would you agree?
That's what after those first rounds of deaths, that's what I acquired the ability to do. I was like, oh, I have to turn and shoot at the same time and just have a like half circle of bullets flying at all times, and that's how I beat the game.
Yeah, and I never like fully figured out how to do it consistently, which is pissing me off.
I was real good.
Man, I could not figure it out. I don't know. But anyway, key points in beating this game, just fucking go straight to the end and
You look like a
spray
ghoul right
fire.
now. I'm just gonna say it. You look like a goddamn goblin.
All
Like,
right. Well, thank God
the
that
shadow
happened
is
just now because
terrible.
we're about to go to a break.
You look like a corpse. At least from where I'm viewing you from. I don't know how your camera looks, but from the webcam, you look like a reanimated body.
All right, go pee.
I have to tinkle.
All right. We'll be back.
Dude, when we took that little break there, I went to pee and I fucking tripped over my stool and I full on fell right on the ground on my face. I haven't had a drunken fall in a long time. I did. I'm glad I put the mic on mute because you would have heard me swearing. I just fucking crushed myself. And then when I picked the stool up, I realized it was really sturdy. So I was like, how the fuck did I knock this over?
All right. Do you want to talk about the movie for just a couple of minutes of Die Hard?
No, I don't. Die Hard. Everyone knows it. It's the
Well-
same as the game. There's terrorists and John McClane saves the day. What we got to talk about?
Do you think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Sure. Why not?
It takes place at Christmas. I know that I posted it a couple times, and our loyal fan on TikTok, she questioned whether or not it was a Christmas movie, and I was like, absolutely it is. It takes place at Christmas. How many Hallmark movies are there that have nothing to do with Christmas, that just take place at Christmas time? Right?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
What are you drinking now, you son of a bitch?
Fucking lava. You were talking about that clandestine absinthe from Switzerland. I decided, you know what? That's a good booze to drink. It's very strong. You can see the label.
What are you calling it?
Clandestine. Dude, I can't function. Clandestine. It's from Switzerland. I don't know Switzerland language.
What is it? Is it vodka or what?
It's absinthe.
Oh, absinthe. That's right. You said that.
Oh, this is weak absinthe. It's only 53%. I'm used to that 90%, bro.
Yeah.
But it's very strong licorice flavor.
You're just drinking it straight. I've never had absinthe.
Really? Well, I'll
Yeah.
have to make you absinthe cocktail. We'll have to go through the proper procedures, but next time you come over, I'll make you one and you'll fucking shit your pants.
You told me about it when I was there one time, but I don't know if you made me something or if you just told me about it.
I don't believe I did because there's a process. You have to drip. And there's a sugar cube. I don't use a sugar cube. I think at least the absinthe I get, I think it's sweet enough.
Okay.
You gotta loosh it. You gotta loosh it.
You know what?
Loosh. That's what it's called, loosh. It's when you drip the water. You dilute it. Because it's, it's fucking high octane. If I drink any more of that, I'm actually going to die. I'm going to perish. Oh my god.
Just on the chance that the video doesn't pan out for this episode, we should probably make more interesting sounds. That was an interesting sound. That sounded dinosaurish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
So,
talk about fucking goddamn Christmas Carol
yeah,
already?
in just a minute. I know we're
Oh
2 hours
my
in, Caleb, but
just want a Christmas Carol. Why are we spending time on stupid Die Hard? Nobody cares about Die Hard anymore.
I do want to say just that it's cool how even in the NES version they they talk about or they not talk about, but they include like NES pixelated pictures of like Hans Gruber and the black guy from Family Matters. And
It's very shitty looking.
yeah, it's funny though. I had some fun facts about Die Hard, but unless you want me to just skip ahead to Christmas Carol, I can do that.
Oh my god, just give your stupid fun facts in an orderly manner, please.
Do you think anyone's gonna listen to this like three
If
hour
they listen
episode
this
of
far, I would be amazed. Look at this mug. It's empty. And I cannot get up to get another one.
Go get another one. Why didn't you get another one when we went to take a pee?
That's a good idea. Because I got the fucking absinthe. I thought that'd be alright. But then I realized it's rubbing alcohol. It's harsh.
Did you know that Die Hard is based on a novel?
Oh my god, my aorta hurts. Yeah, I know that it was based on a novel, sure.
Did you actually know that though?
Yeah, it was by the fucking famous author Mike Rodick.
Mike Rodick.
I don't know. I don't
You're,
know anything.
you're slouched over in your chair as if you don't care anymore and you just want this to be over.
My chair is broken, and I wanted to talk about Christmas Carol. You keep talking about fucking. Here's a fun fact: Caleb never really cared about Die Hard, even back in the day. I watched it once, and I was like, "Eh, it's okay."
It's
Bruce Willis
based
wasn't
on
buff
his
enough for my
crime novel
liking.
called Nothing Lasts Forever by Roderick Thorpe in 1979. You know what
Roderick
else?
Thorpe, he might as well be Micro Dick.
You know who was going to be cast for Die Hard originally, Caleb?
Dolph Lundgren.
For Bruce Willis's role and for John McCain? No, not what is his name? Dolph Lundgren? Rolf Lundgren?
Sylvester Stallone. Arnold.
Frank
Jean-Claude Van
Sinatra.
Damme.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I
Because
actually knew that, but I forgot.
do you know why?
Because he's cool.
Because Die Hard is based on the novel called The Towering Inferno.
Yep, sure was.
Or no. It's called Nothing Lasts Forever. Sorry. But
Yep, that's it.
but there it's a part of like a trilogy or something. And the first one is called the God, The Detective, and Frank Sinatra played the lead role in The Detective. So they were required to ask Frank Sinatra first to do the lead role in Die Hard, but because he was 73 years old, he said no. And they asked like
Yep.
four other people before
Yes.
Bruce Willis, and then Bruce Willis finally said yes.
Can you imagine a really old Frank Sinatra doing that? He's
No,
stupid.
that would have been so fucking boring. They asked a whole bunch of other people. I can't find it right now, but they asked a lot of other people,
Yeah.
including like Clint Eastwood was gonna do it. Even that would have been kind of
Yeah, but-
boring.
That would have been fitting. He was Dirty Harry.
Bruce Willis wasn't even the third choice. They asked here I found it. Rumor has it that they asked Sylvester Stallone, Harrison Ford, Robert De Niro, Charles Bronson, Nick Nolte, Mel Gibson, Richard Gere, Don Johnson, Burt Reynolds, and Richard Dean Anderson, who was MacGyver. They were all considered for John McClane and declined it. And Bruce Willis said yes. Because Bruce Willis was a comedic actor, and this was his first serious role.
I'm gonna hire a Filipino longshoreman to beat your dick off in a non-sexual way. I don't care about your goddamn Die Hard facts at all. I had 21% left on my laptop because you spent 37 minutes fucking fixing your
Caleb, just
computer.
plug your laptop in. This is an investment. This is a 3-hour-long episode that no one's going to listen to.
Oh my god, I can't get up.
All
Do you
right,
know
let's
my
move
chair's already
on.
broken?
Let's just move on, okay? Let's just move on. You have to
My
plug it in
ass went
anyway,
numb.
because we're not going to get through A Christmas Carol in 21% of power and on your laptop.
Does Tiny Tim count as a midget?
No!
He's very small.
He's a child!
He's tiny. He's literally tiny.
He's like
Are
6
you
years
drinking
old.
the same beer or is that a different beer? That looks darker than the beer you were drinking before.
No, it's the same one. I've been nursing it. I'm getting through
I'm
it.
gonna grab my laptop plug
Okay.
and a beer, and I'm gonna put this poison back on my fancy wine shelf. And you can introduce. I'll put my mic on mute, and you can introduce A Christmas Carol proper. So when I come back, if I don't fall over another stool and break something, and we could discuss.
Okay. While Caleb is becoming more comfortable and plugging in his laptop, I would like to make a smooth transition into our conversation about A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. And as soon as Caleb sits back down, we will proceed to talk about A Christmas Carol and all its vicissitudes and details and complications and cultural discussion and phenomena.
Oh, god damn it. I drank too much stuff.
Are you ready to talk about A Christmas Carol?
Yes, I am. Ah, wait. Now I am with my Leinenkugel red lager in hand. Ooh, you see that nice bub? Oh, popped. God damn
Lovely.
it. I had a nice nip. I had a nipple on my beer. Maybe a very studious listener / viewer will spot the bubble.
I really hope that the video didn't get fucked up and everyone can.
Yeah, it probably
watch
did. It's
it,
probably
man.
gonna be terrible. Nobody will be able to see all
Yeah.
the cool stuff
I
I was
hope-
drinking, and I
I
did
hope-
it for nothing.
Yeah, I hope it isn't an exclusively audio episode, because that would be disappointing.
Fucking suck.
You know, sometimes
Did
there's
you
technical
finally-
difficulties.
Who cares about that? Did you finally finish the fucking Christmas Carol? I read it in like an hour and a half, and you spent 18 days on it.
You know, Caleb, I don't know how you do that stuff. I don't know how
It's
you.
easy.
I don't know how you're
it's a
so good
novella.
at video games. I don't know how you're so good at reading so fast. I know it's just a novella, but it's still from like the 18th century? I don't know how you, or 19th century.
19th
century.
1800s.
Yeah. I don't know how you read things so fast. Like, it's still, I know it's like plain English, but it's also like a little bit aged. So it's like, I still stumble over certain things. I don't know how you read things so fast, no matter what it is, for the most part.
Well, this version I don't, because I have a Dickens collection. If you follow us on TikTok, it's one of the gigantic books I'm reading in one of the videos. I have it in a collection, but I actually found a free Kindle download for the holiday season of A Christmas Carol, and it had annotations. Like, it had highlighted words or phrases, and just you clicked on it and it would give you, like, normally you would have to go to the end of the book to read those, like in a lot of the things we read. So it was very handy. So it helped speed up my my knowledge there of not knowing certain things, but I went through it at a normal speed. I didn't like fly through it. I read it at my normal speed.
Well, a normal speed, if you read it in an hour and a half, right?
Yeah. It's like 60 pages.
I know, but I was talking to my coworker at the cafe, and he was kind of on the same page as me. Like, he takes a while to read things, no matter what it is. I don't know how you just blast through things like that. 60 pages is still, I mean, it's closer to 70. It's still like 70 pages. And I can't just. I mean, it takes me certain things I get hung up on too. I have to reread and reread and reread, and certain things take me like, and sometimes some pages take me like 10 minutes to read sometimes.
Why? What the fudge were you getting stuck on in A Christmas Carol? It's pretty straightforward.
Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
All right. He says poo poo.
Yes.
He says poo poo. What does that mean?
Okay. Poo poo.
I didn't write down the
You
page number.
have to use it in context. What's the sentence?
I didn't write down the page number, so I don't even know.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I bring it up.
Caleb. I'll have to look it up. Hold on.
Look how dinky. Look how rinky dink that book size is.
We're 2 hours in. Let me take a sip and then I'll look it up.
Take a sip of your mud colored beer and I'll drink my delicious red lager. Ooh.
All right. Poo poo.
No, I
Poo
dropped
poo.
Damn it.
Poo poo. Where's the poo poo? Must be in the beginning.
Must be, and you're in the end of the book, but okay, must be in the beginning.
I don't know where. Well, I'm going by the order of my notes. I don't know where it says poo poo. It's not in the first 4 pages, so I'm not gonna labor over it. But like, okay, I had a couple things of like lines I don't get. Okay, page 6. Let me go to that. He says, besides, excuse me, I don't know that. Okay, this is when the people are coming to ask for donations, right? What are you laughing about, you son of a bitch?
A Christmas Carol poo poo. It's just a bunch of Mr. Hanky from South Park, but then I scroll down and there's a website called the Christmas Poop Log. I don't know what it is. What can a Christmas poop log activity set be? I want to buy one. I'm gonna look. Christmas. Oh, the Christmas poop log. Oh, it's a log. You could buy an actual. I'm buying that. You want something for Christmas, Bryce? A poop log. A poop log activity set bundle includes the storybook of the Christmas poop log and the activity set with everything you need to create your own Christmas poop log. The kit includes the hardcover storybook, a wooden log, wooden dowels, paint set, Santa hat, felt piece, wood glue, and googly eyes. Sorry, I don't know why that's an object you could buy. What were you saying?
Okay. It's the
By the Christmas poop log.
It's the scene, okay, in the very beginning when the guys are coming asking for donations from Scrooge.
Yes. Okay. Bah, humbug.
Yeah, so, and he says, I wish to be left alone. Since you asked me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there. And they say, many can't go there, and many would rather die. He says, if they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. And then he says, besides, M dash, excuse me, M dash, I don't know that. What the fuck does that mean? Besides, excuse me, I don't know that.
He doesn't know.
What does that mean? I don't know what.
He doesn't know.
What?
He doesn't know that.
Know that what? What doesn't he know?
Know that. Read the preceding M dash. He doesn't know that. What the fuck?
What are you talking about? Many can't go there, many would rather die. If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I don't know that. What is he referring to?
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't listen to anything you said because I'm still looking up poo-poo. I got
Caleb.
a PDF. I got the Project Gutenberg version of A Christmas Carol, and I am searching. I did the find poo. Is poo-poo one word or two?
2.
So poo/poo
Poo-poo. It
or
must be
just
within the
poo
first 5 pages because
poo.
I wrote it before this page
Nothing
6
came up when I
reference.
typed poo-poo.
It's Pooh.
Pooh. I
Yeah.
got it. I'm going to read for the readers, not readers, the listeners, this line that Bryce is stuck on. He did pause with a moment's irresolution before he shut the door, and he did look cautiously behind it first, as if he half expected to be terrified with the sight of Marley's pigtail sticking out into the hall.
Oh, so
But
it's
there
later
was
on.
nothing on the back of the door except the screws and nuts that held the knocker on, so he said, "Poo poo," and closed it with a bang. What are you confused about? He just said poo poo.
I guess maybe I was just writing it down because it was funny. He said poo-poo.
Oh, good Lord. All that work I just did for nothing. So
I
you
wouldn't
are
say for
confused.
nothing. I mean, you found the moment where Scrooge, Ebenezer Scrooge, a literary figure from a masterpiece, what do they call it? What do they call it? Eternal
I
something.
don't know what you're talking about.
They call a Christmas Carol like
A story,
I don't know.
a novella.
Anyway, Ebenezer Scrooge, this literary figure, says poo poo.
Poo
It's
poo.
funny. It's funny.
It is funny, but I thought you were
I,
bringing it up as
no,
in
I
why
had
did he say.
literally no point. It's just he said poo poo and I liked it. But
Oh, Lord, I didn't even realize he said poo poo.
yeah, but you probably didn't even really read that shit because you read it in an hour and a half and you're just like, done. You
Well,
jerk.
let's go back to the line that you're confused about. You don't know what he's referring to when he says something about that? He doesn't know about that?
Yeah, I don't know. He said, I mean, let's go back. I have
Read
to
the
flip
line
back.
again. Read the
Okay.
line again. Now that I'm
Okay.
focused.
Okay. Many can't go there, and many would rather die. If they would rather die, said Scrooge, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I don't know that.
I don't know what you're confused about. He's talking about the workhouses and the people that have to go to the workhouses, and he doesn't specifically know an instance of somebody that has to go to the workhouse or would rather die than go to the workhouse.
Can you say it in a way that would make more sense? Am I saying it in the wrong like inflection?
Um, inflection is not the proper word. um, so what he is saying, I believe, is that to him, death is obviously not preferred to the workhouse, whereas the men he's talking to think that going to the workhouse is equal to a death sentence. Scrooge thinks people should just be able to, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. So a workhouse, which were atrocious at the time, by the way, they were very, very. You could die working at a workhouse or living at a workhouse, however that worked. Um, Scrooge basically thought that that was not the worst case scenario where these men think it's terrible.
Hmm. So I get. I mean, I guess I just don't get why he says that. I mean, because it's like,
Because he's a curmudgeon.
yeah, I know, but it's like, I mean, saying I don't know that is almost like, okay, well, I'm not them. I don't get it. No?
You don't know enough about workhouses. That's the problem.
All right. Well, whatever. Anyway, I have a. I. What do you have anything else before I move on?
Poo poo.
Okay. So my next point is about the bells in Scrooge's house. Like when I think when Marley comes, you know how the bells over his doorway or whatever start ringing and
Yeah.
what are they for? I always wondered that, like in the movies too. Like I think particularly they illustrate it well in the Jim Carrey one. Um, they show all the bells over his door, and it's like, what are those all connected to? Because you don't really see any like strings or anything, any like lines that the bells are connected to. They're just kind of like hanging over the doorway.
Aren't they just
It's like, what are they?
servant bells?
But they're over the doorway and they're high up. What are they? What are they for?
Burglar bells? I don't know.
I don't get it.
Bells?
I should have put a page number, but I didn't. But
Wait. I have the technology.
yeah, do that. While you do that, I'm gonna bite into a cookie that I brought from work.
What the fuck, dickhead? You got cookies? I don't got no cookies.
I got cookies. Oh.
Fucking cookies. Oh, the word bell only comes up 20 times.
Oh, good.
Let's,
You can
let's see
find
what
it
the
real
first.
fast then.
The ancient tower of a church whose gruff old bell. Nope. I keep zooming in on me. After several turns, he sat down again. As he threw his head back in the chair, his glance happened to rest upon a bell, a disused bell that hung in the room and communicated for some purpose now forgotten with the chamber in the highest story of the building. It was with great astonishment and with a strange, inexplicable dread that as he looked, he saw this bell begin to swing. Does that answer your question? It was
No.
used for the top story
What does that mean?
in old times. So this bell was old in old time. Like, so in Scrooge's era, this bell was ancient. So whenever this building was erected, this bell was used to alert people on the top floor. So I'm thinking of a servant class. So maybe because from what I remember reading this, he's living in kind of a dump even though he's rich, he's living in like kind of a shithole.
Yeah.
I think he's living in what used to be servants' quarters.
Mm.
So you said there was no string. There probably is something to alert that bell
Yeah.
to get the servants to attend. Because in those days, I think if you were high society, you would have been on the top of the building.
Mm. I mean, maybe they probably just don't illustrate it well in like movies and stuff. But like because like I swear, I mean I could be wrong, but I swear in like in the movies where they show the bells, they're just like hanging there in a row above the doorway, just by themselves, and they just start moving because the ghost is coming, and it's not like they show what the bells like how the bells actually function in real life. And it's like, what the fuck are they even hanging there for? Just for the wind?
Why are you
Like,
so caught up on these bells?
it's
Who cares
just
about
those
the
details that
bells?
always bothered me. Like, what
It's
is
just
the point of
bells.
this? And like rereading this,
It's
there's a
just
lot.
a literary device to show that there's some ghost in the room.
Oh, I get it, but it's just like, I don't know. These little things, they bother me. It's like, why? I don't know. I guess because this story is so redone and redone and redone, and I watch it every single year. I'm so familiar with it that I notice all these little stupid details that don't matter, and then I'm like, well, I'm watching this every year, like many people do, so I'm gonna notice these things, and I'm gonna watch it every year until the day I die. So like, I don't know, it just piques my curiosity, like why, like, even as insignificant as it is. I mean, this story is 70 pages long. It's not very complex. I'm gonna notice details that don't matter, and I'm gonna question them because they're there, and I'm experiencing it every single year.
That's why you read the goddamn story so slow, because you focus on fucking bells and stupid shit that doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah, it's. I guarantee. I'm sure one of our 9 listeners is interested in this, though.
Maybe they are
Or maybe that's why we only have 9 listeners.
more plausible in my opinion. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
would probably agree, to be honest. Well, anyway, what do you got?
about A Christmas Carol,
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
You're jumping straight to the end.
It's a fun tale of ghost and learning from your assholeness and not to be an asshole.
Your
And
first
Mr.
comment, you're just like, I'm done.
Scrooge learned that he was a toxic asshole and decides to be a better man because his old partner Marley is all gross looking.
Do you feel like it's Christmas already right now, and you're just like, let's jump to the end of the story, and let's just have Christmas, and then have New Year's, and then start this year over?
Historically, I've always hated Christmas, but I am a big New Year's guy. Because the new year is refreshing and it sets forth, the new year. It's new you, the new whatever you want. It's a new beginning versus Christmas, which is just like, ooh, buy shit for people I don't like and pretend
Yeah.
that I care about them. Oh, I bought you a hideous fucking sweater. Here, you're never gonna wear it, but it cost me $50. Like, yeah, hate it. I buy people things that I think they'll actually like, but people I don't like, I don't buy them fucking shit.
Mhm.
No shit. I hate the obligation. That's what it is. I hate
Yeah,
the obligation.
I do hate that.
You know what I am? I am a Scrooge in the making, but I wouldn't be a jerk if I was a business owner.
Oh no, my camera died. It's a Drunken Christmas special, so I'm just gonna have to settle for the webcam for now. For the rest of the episode.
I do not envy you editing this episode.
Yep, it's gonna be fucking miserable. So, what are we talking about?
I believe we said that A Christmas Carol was the best Christmas story ever told, other than the actual A Christmas Story.
That sounds right. Caleb, you sleeping?
No, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm a little down. My chair broke a long time ago. I don't.
How did it break?
Fat. Too fat. Too fat.
What's broken?
I don't know. I fixed it, but it broke again. Something's broke. It's an old gamer chair. I need a new chair. Doesn't match the decor anyway in here.
I think
It's
this
blue and black, and my wall is red and black.
I think the icing on this is white chocolate.
It looks pretty fancy what you're eating there. It looks like a fucking urinal cake.
I got another white chocolate chip cookie over here. Over here.
Yum, 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 yum.
So, something else I noticed. Did you take any notes on this at all?
I didn't even think about it before we started, let alone write notes.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a professional. I don't need notes.
Well, I need notes because I am professional. So, I noticed that Dickens says the first ghost is muscular. Did you notice that?
His name's Dickens. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for all your
Marley is
listeners,
real buff.
do you know why it's funny that his name is Dickens? Because it
Why?
do you know? Because it has Dick in it.
That's a name for a member, aka a pecker, a schlong, a tallywhacker, a
Phallus.
oh, a phallus, a penis. If you're gonna be politically correct about it, penis. I like the hard P in penis. I can say that all day. You are listening to Arcade Penis Shop. Yeah, I thought it was a little bizarre that the guy was rippling with muscles, even though he was supposed to be an old guy.
I don't know if he's necessarily an old guy, but
He's
it's like,
old.
is it? How emphasized is the sucking of my fingers?
It's disgusting. I'm borderline vomiting watching you fillet your fingers.
So you're getting the proper effect from the.
I don't like seeing you
sucking.
fillet your phalanges. It's disgusting.
Thank you.
My back hurts. Oh, keep it up.
My back hurts.
I keep sinking. Oh, I'm glad I got this fancy.
This is gonna be by far the longest episode yet.
by far the worst episode we've ever done.
Horrible.
That got 10 views.
If
People don't like this, they're missing out. It's the only thing we've ever done worthwhile.
But like, how weird is it that the Ghost of Christmas Past is actually like muscular according to the book? How have you ever seen the Ghost of Christmas Past in any movie representation come out muscular?
No, but him being kind of hot doesn't make sense if you look at the modern lens, through a modern lens. I could imagine a version now coming out. He would be pretty buff. He'd be hot.
Well, there was one that came out like
Sexual.
last year. I mean, it was like a kids one, like an animated one. I actually don't remember it, so I shouldn't even be referencing it. But I don't think they did that.
They didn't make the Ghost of Christmas Past rippling with muscles and oily chest. No,
I don't think
imagine
so.
They did not.
And to be honest, I think the Jim Carrey one is the most accurate one of all of them, from what I can remember.
There was a Jim Carrey one.
You don't know that one? The animated one, the Disney one.
Oh, it was animated. I don't fucking watch these things. I remember Bill Murray.
That was Scrooged. That's like the least accurate one. But I
No.
like that. I like that one. I just
Really?
watched it. But
Holy shit! I just got accepted into the New Yorker.
no, you didn't.
Man, that's pretty cool.
You just got denied then.
What am I looking up?
Rejected.
No. Oh, Jim Carrey. No, nobody cares about me getting accepted into the New Yorker. Christmas.
Rejected, right?
No, accepted.
You did not get accepted into the New Yorker.
The 4 poems I submitted fucking August 2022.
You're not gonna. Of
They
all of the
accepted
stuff,
one. They accepted one about a haircut.
of all the stuff that you submitted, you're not gonna get poems accepted into the New Yorker.
Well, I did, and I don't really care about it because I don't write poetry. So who gives a shit? Shut Up, Bryce. 2009, A Christmas Carol.
I just
Fine.
want to be clear. Caleb's
James
lying
Carrey.
right now.
I don't know why you have to hate on me just because I got accepted into the stupid New Yorker. It's not even a big thing.
You're not
even-
telling the truth. You're not being truthful. You know what, Caleb? It's Christmas time.
$417. That's an oddly specific amount, isn't it? Fucking weird.
400. That's what you're getting paid.
Per poem. For one, I only got one poem accepted, but per poem, that's pretty good. Yeah, so 2009 was A Christmas Carol starring. I never saw that. If I did, I don't remember.
Oh, you have to watch it because it's actually. I prefer that one. I mean, I'm a little bit biased because I remember my English teacher said it's the best, the closest adaptation, but I think he's right because I feel like it. Aside from the fact that Jim Carrey is like goofy and is like in his accents, but I do think it sticks the closest to the actual events in the novella compared to a lot of the other ones.
Well, that maybe I'll watch that before Christmas this year.
You should do that.
October 16th was when I submitted that to New Yorker, by the way.
And there was a rejection, right?
No, they fucking here. I'll read the acceptance. Oh god, I gotta pick it
The
up.
New
I closed
Yorker?
it out. God damn it, Bryce! Why do you gotta be such a penis?
Because I have a head on my shoulders.
The July 18th issue of the New Yorker, 2024, is when it'll be out. So whatever fucking issue that is, summer theme, I'm assuming.
You're full of shit. The New Yorker?
New Yorker. How specific do I have to be?
How long are you going to play this out? That's not true.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. I don't write poetry. I don't give a shit.
You didn't get accepted.
Ooh.
What?
Hold on. I'm reading something. Leave me alone. There's residuals for it too. I didn't know that. Like you get royalties for like even after it's out of publication. What? I didn't know magazines did that. That is impressive.
You're joking, right?
I have to update my spreadsheet now. Finally, get a good one for my spreadsheet. Spreadsheet's been kind of slacking lately. I actually did submit a story today that I wrote today for a myth and lore magazine that I have a good. I'm hoping to score. I think I have a good feeling about it.
I still can't decide if you're lying or not.
And the New Yorker is not my first one. So for my first year, it was actually October Hill Magazine, which rejected me. They rejected that specific poem, actually.
You can't tell me you got into the New Yorker.
The New Yorker was number 8 on my list since I've been keeping track. So that's pretty impressive.
You got into that?
So what do I do with that information? Well, to be fair, they rejected my Well, they didn't reject my story. They just never acknowledged it. So I guess I can mark that off. I'll do that now. Oh, I already did that. Never mind. Put accepted. What am I supposed to fucking New Yorker? The New Yorker. If I'm not drunk, that's probably a big deal. But let's go on. So Christmas Carol. You like the Jim Carrey version? I like
Hold
the
up.
Bill Murray
This is
version.
ridiculous. You did not get
I like the
accepted.
Bill Murray version.
You
I
did
know
not
it's not
get
accurate to the goddamn
accepted
book.
into the New Yorker.
I know it's not accurate to the book, but I thought it was. I like Bill Murray. He was Scrooge, right?
I
Like,
think-
it was fun.
I think the people listening want to hear if you were accepted into the New Yorker.
I also like Scrooge McDuck. Based on Scrooge, he jumps in the money pit like Scrooge McDuck. And we're talking about, you know what? Honestly, we kind of fucked up. Why did we play Die Hard when we could have played the Scrooge McDuck game?
I think it's important
We're
to
fucking
acknowledge
idiots.
that Caleb's not actually answering the
We
questions here.
We should have
I
played
think
Scrooge McDuck.
I think
go
you
along
should
with the
all know
Christmas
that he didn't
Carol.
actually get accepted into the New Yorker because that's fucking ridiculous. He's not going to
Why is
get
that
paid
why would that be ever in any realm of ridiculous?
$417 for a
It was a
poem.
free submission. Of course, I
It
submitted.
was a free submission, but Caleb writes fiction and not poetry, and the poetry that he does write, 78% of the time, it's a joke.
92% of the time.
So
Including
even
when I submitted to the New Yorker.
even more, he did not get his bullshit poems accepted into the New
I
Yorker.
submitted my worst to the New Yorker, but they liked it. So what's the problem with that?
The problem is that I submitted my best to the New Yorker and I got all of them rejected. So I just feel as though there's no fucking possible
because
way
you're not as
that
cool
you
as
got them
me.
accepted, and
Hold
I
on,
didn't.
Let me bring up the fucking stupid email. Hal Cunningham, whoever the fuck that is, Hal Cunningham liked it. Hal Cunningham thinks it was good enough. So why can't you think it's good enough?
You get to
Bryce?
forward
God damn it.
forward it to
Listen.
me right now.
Stop. What we need to focus on is why we didn't cover Scrooge McDuck, which has many games, for A Christmas Carol. That would have been perfect. What were you thinking? A Die Hard. We picked Die Hard. Fuck.
Because we were getting drunk. And I thought it would make sense if we were getting drunk and talking about nonsense while I'm eating cookies and oh, I lost my scarf.
What the fuck?
Where'd my scarf go? Oh, there it is.
That is actually a good question. And how did it fall off your head?
Found it. Whoops.
Ooh. It just hit me. I'm
What?
excited now. That's actually big news.
You're
The
full
fucking
of
New Yorker, that's like
You're full of shit,
that's
though.
bigger than the New England Review. That's bigger than the Paris Review. That's bigger than the Dublin Review and all these other fucking ones that fucking rejected me. The New Yorker. You know what it's gonna do for me, Bryce? That's gonna make me the poet laureate of the United States of America. And what are you gonna do? Nothing. You're gonna cry about it.
If you weren't full of shit, yeah.
What the fuck was the name of that poem? Hold on. It was like one of the first shitty ones I fucking sent to you, I think. What was the fucking...
If you don't forward it to me in like 2 minutes, I
All right, hold on.
100% don't believe you.
Cock lick. That's what you are. Cock lick. How do you spell that? Dude, I got a lot of stuff on my Google Docs. I've been writing.
I haven't
When was
been.
the last time you did some writing?
It's been a while. A couple of weeks.
A couple weeks. I've been writing every GD day.
It's been a hard year, Caleb. Been a hard year.
Yeah, buddy. Can I confess something to you, Bryce?
What?
Something very important.
You didn't
I
get
wasn't completely
accepted.
forthcoming when I said I got accepted to the New
You didn't
Yorker.
get accepted into the New Yorker.
No, but my poem Kaleidoscope Dreams got accepted by American Poetry Journal. So yay!
Oh, that's cool.
No, that's a lie too. Lying all over the place. Just lying
Well,
all over the place. I'm trying to pick one of those Dante Inferno
I
fucking
could,
levels of hell
I would,
grafters.
I could see American Poetry Journal. I couldn't see American Poetry Review.
No, they rejected me.
Yeah, me too. Twice.
Either that or they didn't read my work. I don't even remember what I submitted to them. What am I even? I got 5 things in progress. That's not good. Hey, I'm in the running for Taco Bell Quarterly.
Are you?
Kind of a big deal.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
apparently. I don't know how, but apparently, they only get 50,000 fucking emails. What were we talking about?
That's
Oh,
crazy. We were talking about A Christmas Carol, but I don't know if anyone cares anymore.
no, probably not. But nobody don't submit to the Stardust review because that costs $10, and I have not heard anything back. It's supposed to be a fast turnaround. That's a scam.
You know what my next note is about A Christmas Carol?
Tiny Tim has really, really thick legs.
I wrote, Alibaba and the Schoolhouse? Who are these people?
Alibaba in the Schoolhouse?
You don't remember that?
It's like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves. That
Like in
section I was
Aladdin?
talking about that was talking about the Aladdin and the whatever nights, Arabian Nights.
Is he referencing that in A Christmas Carol?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold up. What? I didn't read a page number
There was a
down.
whole section on it.
Really? So it wasn't like a real person that he knew back in the day?
What do you mean a real person?
Well, I thought like it was because it was the Ghost of Christmas Past point. So I thought he was actually seeing somebody he knew named Alibaba,
Alibaba.
but I don't know.
Here, I'll tell you in a second. Oh shit. That's porno. God damn it.
What?
Well, I gotta look this up. How do you spell Alibaba?
Alibaba.
It's not coming up.
That's what it is.
Is it?
Yeah. Dude, I'm gonna have like a fucking migraine tomorrow.
You're probably gonna feel like shit.
Yeah. I'll have to work through it.
It's not coming up on my Project Gutenberg.
I need to fucking put page numbers down more often. I was not prepared for this drunken analysis of A Christmas Carol.
Can't believe I got into the New Yorker. I'm gonna have to tell my wife.
That you lied to me about getting into the New Yorker?
She's gonna be really excited with that $417.
Are you gonna lie to her as long as you lied to me?
It's gonna be really cool.
You're
I'll
fantasizing about
make
lying
sure
to
to
your
go
wife?
I'll go to Barnes and Noble and pick you up a copy, Bryce.
Okay, you'll just send that to me. Or hand it to me, because I'll see you in person shortly.
Okay.
Anyway.
Are you gonna feel like a hunk of garbage when I'm in the New Yorker for poetry and I don't even write poetry?
Yeah, Caleb, talk to me about Christmas Carol after from the Ghost of Christmas Past forward.
There's a couple more ghosts to show up. One's not as muscular. The third, definitely not as muscular. The Ghost of Christmas Present shows Mr. Scrooge, how everything is, and the family with the Tiny Tim and the Bob Crackett, Cricket, Crotchet, Critchet, Cratchit, Crackett, whatever his fucking name is. He's having a lovely time. And he shows Scrooge his nephew who's having a party and it's fun and Scrooge wants to be there. And then in the future, the Ghost of Christmas Future or whatever, shows Scrooge what life is like after he dies, but Scrooge is too stupid to realize that he is a dead man. And then He reforms after the end of the story. He just, I'm gonna be a good guy. That's all you need to
Okay,
know.
everybody knows what A Christmas Story or
Everyone
A
fucking
Christmas
knows a
Carol is
Christmas Carol.
about.
Actually, more people probably know A Christmas Story than A Christmas Carol.
I have my next note, since you're just gonna summarize the whole entire story. I was trying to pick this apart. The things that I don't understand about A Christmas Carol that always bother me. So like my next note is that in the past, Scrooge's significant other, I think her name is Belle. She quote unquote sets him free for changing in the way that he does. But the book is so concise that I don't think we get a full picture of his life entirely. We do know from the past that he grew up in a less than adequate situation. So he was probably poor. He was shoved off for some reason, but we don't really know why. But he was lonely a lot of the time. He lost his sister eventually. She had kids and then died, and he's just left with his nephew and the memory of his sister, who used to be a living relative, living sibling. He has the past to add up to a hardened life, or a hardened person later in life, to prevent like those things happening again in the future at all costs. I mean, that's what happens. Like you experience things, and you catalog them in your mind, and you change your character even without, maybe sometimes not even without like acknowledging it, in order to prevent future catastrophe. Um, and I guess I always feel like every time I see A Christmas Carol, because I've only read it twice, I think, maybe 3 times total. But every time I watch it, I always think like, how unreasonable for that fucking bitch to just to just fucking ditch this guy because of the way that his life was. Like, how unrespecting of the things that he's gone through. They're both poor people, but he's obviously gone through something more if she doesn't understand it. And she clearly doesn't understand it because she's willing to not understand it for the sake of enjoying her life more and leaving to enjoy her life more without him. And you're yawning. And I think this is a very interesting point of conversation, despite the fact that we're 2 hours and 40 minutes into this conversation and nobody's listening anymore.
I can't deal with your misogyny anymore.
I don't think it's misogyny. I would talk about this either way. If Scrooge was a man or a woman. You're not actually drinking that.
I got a surge. I don't know. It was moved. I don't know. It's 1800s, dude. Everybody's a jerk. Everybody's poor. Everybody has to eat fucking hunks of dirt for dinner. It's not a good time. Like, he describes like the delicious foods they had for dinner, and it was like dirt clod, mud pie, shit stick. Like, ew, I don't eat that stuff. Fermented ham loaf. Like, ew.
Who can forget the end of A Christmas Carol when the poor boy walks beneath Scrooge's window, and Scrooge orders him to the deli or to the butcher to pick up the shit stick for Bob Cratchit's family.
I'm about Cratchit to eat a big old shit stick. Basically, they had no way of preserving these foods. So how raw was that turkey? The biggest turkey. Gross.
Lovely.
E. coli, salmonella. These things exist.
Puking everywhere.
Tiny Tim had polio. Sucks for him.
You're lucky I have notes on this. I mean, you're not lucky. I mean, we're 3 hours into this shit. It's like,
Nobody can possibly be listening for 3 hours. If they're listening, it's because of my delightful repertoire of stupid midget talk.
this is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, honestly, we're 2 hours and 40 minutes in, but like, I'm probably gonna cut like 20 minutes out of the beginning of this. Well, depending.
Why? The beginning was great.
Well, just because we weren't talking about anything. But anyway,
Doesn't matter.
do you have? I mean, okay.
Here's what you do. You take the beginning and make it a special outro.
Oh God, can you hear that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like two dicks rubbing together real hard.
All right, I'll try not to do that. I'm eating another
I don't
cookie.
like that. I don't like that noise. Reminds me of fucking Boy Scouts. So, did you like A Christmas Carol, Bryce? Did you actually finish A Christmas Carol?
We're still talking about it, Caleb. We're still talking about it. We're not going to jump to the conclusion before we're done.
Why do you have so many cookies? I don't understand. Where they're
I was
coming
at
from.
the office Christmas party today, and I was picking up what I could get.
My office Christmas party is January 4th. What the fuck is that?
Is it really?
Yeah. What the fuck is January 4th? Just stop. Like, I don't want, like, just give us money. I don't want that.
That's funny.
It's fucking dumb.
Do you have any points along the way, or are you just like jumping off of my points?
I like Charles Dickens. He writes a good story.
Again, you're jumping to the end here, and I'm not done yet, Caleb. I'm not done.
He gets paid by the word, though, so he could probably use a better editor. He goes on too long about dumb shit that nobody cares about.
Dude, I have so much to talk about. Like, you don't even know. I know it's like pushing 10 o'clock right now. I have so much more to talk about.
Okay. Go ahead.
Did you notice that on page 29, the narrators...
Specifically, I read an ebook version. I don't know what page it was.
the narrator suddenly starts using I. Did you notice that?
Who was the narrator?
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know if it was supposed to just be Dickens or if it was supposed to be an actual character.
I wondered that when I read the book. I was like, who's the fucking narrator? Yeah. And then
Because
those eyes, like somebody's telling you the story. Is this a
and
history or
it's not consistent, and I don't know. I haven't Googled that or anything. If anyone talks about that, but I don't know who the narrator is supposed to be. And in the Disney version of the movie, the narrator ends up being Bob Cratchit, which kind of doesn't make sense. But
No.
I don't know. I have a feeling it's just supposed to be Dickens. But it's weird because it's not consistent. It's like page 29 and then it happens again at like in the 40s somewhere. But then it never happens again. And it doesn't resolve by the end. And it's really weird how there's just occasional eye usage. And I really think he wrote this. And I had some education on this thing in high school, but I don't remember, and I couldn't find details online, but I think he wrote this just for money.
Yeah, he did write it just for money. I was looking to see if it was published in serialized form like a lot of works at the time, but that was not. It was published in 6,000 copies as an original story. So I don't know why he had that perspective switch. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I wish I had a cookie.
Sorry.
All I got is metal cap.
You know what, Caleb? Do you remember page 36? Like, what in the world?
Page 36?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember page
Yeah.
36?
Was that the page where I got accepted into the New Yorker, or was that after?
This is a fucking joke. This is a fucking complete joke.
Yeah, okay.
Where's the book? Where's
Get
the book
mad.
go?
Stay mad, bitch.
Here it is. All right, page
A
36.
guy like me can't get into the goddamn New Yorker. It's easy as pie. Write about lesbians. That's all you gotta do.
All right, page 36. Come on. Flip the page. Page 36. 31. 35. 36. Okay. My phone at.
Why do you need a phone?
I need to see what words I was looking for. 15 bob a week.
What the?
You ready? And perhaps it was the pleasure the good spirit had in showing off this power of his, or else it was his own kind, generous, hearty nature and his sympathy with all poor men that led him straight to Scrooge's clerks. For there he went, and took Scrooge with him, holding to his robe, and on the threshold of the door the spirit smiled and stopped to bless Bob Cratchit's dwelling with the sprinklings of his torch. Think of that. Bob had but 15 bob, quote-unquote, bob a week himself. He pocketed on Saturdays but 15 copies of his Christian name, and yet the ghost of Christmas present blessed his four-roomed house. I don't know what that means.
What the fuck's the problem? It's pretty fucking straightforward.
What is 15 bob a week?
It's a fucking slang for money. They use it as a goddamn name.
I don't get it.
Obviously, a bob was slang for some sort of currency at the time, and
His name is Bob
it-
Cratchit. It's talking about the character's name. It's not currency.
it's saying that his name is also a currency.
I don't get it.
Let me look it up. Look everything up. English currency bob. Oh, look at that. Old money. A bob was the slang word for a shilling. I'm
No
gonna
way.
stab you in the face, Bryce.
That's
Why is your
so
comprehension
weird.
so poor?
Oh my
Why
god.
can't you figure that out?
I don't know.
didn't even focus on that
Well,
when I
how
read
was
that.
I supposed to
and
know that? I mean, his name is
It's in the
Bob. I thought it was like a
context, goddammit.
joke.
It's in the context.
How in the
Use the
context?
context
I feel like
clues.
it
You're
was just
hurting my.
it just sounded like a joke. Like 15 bob.
You just herniated my balls with your stupidity. It's in the context.
I don't get it. How is that in the context? It doesn't say anything about how Bob is like a slang for currency, because like
It's
his name is
obvious
Bob.
that it's a slang
you
for
would-
currency because he says it. He says it in the sentence. He says Bob, like his name. It's the currency. God damn it. He gets paid in his own name.
I don't know how you
Why
pick up
are
on
you
this stuff.
fighting?
I don't know how you
Because-
do it. I don't get it.
Oh, I didn't even go to college, Bryce. God damn it. You should know this better than me.
College is worthless. Think it made me dumber.
Yeah, it probably did. Oh,
Anyway,
my
I'll
God.
jump ahead a few things, but
Oh, my beer's empty.
have you noticed how how like the Christmas Carol movies always portray the ghost of Christmas present as like super happy and jovial and laughing and stuff. But have you noticed that? Have you noticed that?
No, I don't watch Christmas movies.
Oh my god.
I watched one Christmas movie that starred Bill Murray.
Scrooge?
Yeah, that's it. That's the only Christmas Carol movie I ever watched.
Well, like
There's a Jimmy Stewart movie, A Wonderful World, or something. I watched that once.
A
What's that
Wonderful
about?
World. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
I don't
And-
like Christmas.
In the Disney version of A Christmas Carol, the Ghost of Christmas Present is like super laughy. He laughs the whole time he's talking.
I thought he had chains and he was spooky.
That's Marley. Marley.
Oh, that's the first one. So, would you say present?
Present. Yeah, the one that like involves himself with Bob Cratchit and what else?
I can't remember what he looked like in the book.
And like his nephew and stuff.
He had like a big hog, didn't he?
He's usually wearing a big green robe.
Yeah, he had a big old flapping hog flapping his knee slapper.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't
Is that
know.
what he said?
Hog?
Thought that wasn't that was jingling the bell? Was Wiener? Big old ding
What?
dong. Did I misread that? Big old ding dong.
I don't think
Big
he
old
had a
fat
big
Bob.
wiener. No. He had a scabbard that didn't have a sword in it, and he had a torch.
You know why you didn't get that fucking Bob reference? It's the same reason you're not in the goddamn New Yorker like me. Because you just don't got it.
You know what? I am not a liar like you are. I'm an honest fella.
Uh,
And I hope everyone hears my chewing and hears how honest I am. Because I'm not going to pretend that I'm not eating while I'm recording this 3-hour-long episode.
look, if you got more to go, I'm going to grab another beer.
I have a little bit. Because
How
I
much
got
is a little bit?
not that much. But, I mean, do what you want. Do you want to take a break?
I don't need a break. You talk about how you love not getting the New Yorker, and I'll get a beer.
I'm going to pause. Oh, I'm fucking hammered.
Hammered.
Oh, man, I didn't realize how drunk I was until I got up.
Yeah, that's usually how it works. Like when I fell over that stool.
Oh, what the fuck are we talking about?
I think you were saying you love A Christmas Carol more than any Christmas story ever.
Oh, we were talking about the Ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah, he's real happy and stupid.
I felt like when I was reading it, they never mentioned that he was actually real happy and laughing and whatever.
I thought he was just kind of a fucking plain Jane fuckface.
Yeah, that's kind of how it reads. Like, the only positive thing that he did was use his torch to like, mediate any, like, disagreements on Christmas Day. You know, he was just, like, smoothing things over with his torch, and it was, like, making things better and happy and whatever. But, I feel like in the movies that they portray him as, like, overly happy and laughy and joyful and whatever. And I did not remotely get that from the book when I read it this time. He just seemed intense.
Book. Words.
What?
I don't
Did
know
you just
anymore.
say book words?
That's all I can give you. Drinking more beer. This beer's so sweet. What the fuck? Ah.
All right, we'll jump ahead. How about how the fact that I have like nothing to say about the end. I mean, partially
It's the
because I
best
didn't
ending
finish.
I've ever read in any book ever.
Partially because I didn't finish the book, but
What? You didn't finish it? You fucking asshole. Why didn't you said you had 11 pages. It takes 10 minutes. Why did you finish it?
I mean, I skimmed over it. It looked like pretty typical of the movies, whatever.
You ball lick. Why did you finish the book? I had to beat Die Hard and finish the book.
You're faster at both of those things.
Doesn't matter. You were the one who set the precedent. I wanted to play Scrooge McDuck.
You didn't say that. You never
Watch
said
the
that.
Bill Murray movie and get in New York. That's all I wanted to do. But no, you wanted to fucking play all these hard games and read this long ass fucking novella. And I was supposed to be reading other stuff.
For the record, I think if next year we're still a podcast, we should do Home Alone. Because David Craddock said that the Home Alone NES game is actually really good.
Fucking hated that game. It was so hard.
Oh, you played it?
I don't know. I played a bunch of Home Alone games and they're very difficult. I had them growing up and they were terrible.
Oh, that's cool.
Pissed me right off. You want to talk about fucking getting mad at stupid Die Hard? Play Home Alone.
Well, he said they were
Fucking
good. I'm intrigued, but we'll jump ahead.
Yeah.
We'll jump ahead. Although I know that sounds absolutely ludicrous. 3 hours into this podcast, but the end of the Ghost of Christmas Present. What do you think about how underneath his robes are, like, there's the boy and the girl. The boy is, I think, ignorance, and the girl is want.
Oh, I thought the guy was just a pedo.
What?
Well, the guy was a diddler, grade 8 diddler. He got fucking kids in his robe.
Come on, Caleb.
Icky.
Come on, Caleb. You talk about this every DPW podcast. You don't have to bring pedophilia into this podcast.
But it brings listeners, okay? That's why they watch Dateline all the time. Like, they want to fucking hear about gross diddlers and their comeuppance.
That's all you got?
I don't remember what you said. Ignorance and stupid.
Ignorance
that's the same
and
thing.
want. Remember that? How there's like
Yeah.
two little. There's a boy and a girl underneath the Ghost of Christmas Present's robes.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
That's all?
That was dumb. That was a stupid metaphor for nothing.
I thought
was a
so
waste of
hard
time.
about this, and you're just over there, just. I didn't like it.
Look, I don't like diddlers. I don't know about you, but I think they're fucking gross.
Is ignorance and want Scrooge's top two sins? Is that why they're underneath his robes, or is it just like a random like rush on Charles Dickens' part?
I think he just wanted to finish the story and get paid.
Do you think, or is it just because you're drunk?
The latter.
And so, like, also because you're drunk, you're in a rush to finish this episode.
Look, I'm not in a rush at all because I'm already don't know what I'm doing. So
All right.
it doesn't
Well-
really matter. All I know is I didn't give any thought to that. I just wanted to be done with the book.
Do you think that these hauntings happen to other people besides Scrooge, or does it just happen to Scrooge?
Well, I know for a fact they happened to Malachi Darwin because he had a similar experience, and Carnivorous Charles did, and who's the third guy? Desmond Wright.
Who are
They
these,
all had the same experience.
who are these people?
I don't know. I just made them up. I don't know what I'm saying. I just made my own Christmas Carol.
Did you
I have-
seriously just make that all up?
Yeah, I have an idea. So a Christmas Carol, but through history. So you have a Christmas Carol set in the 1500s, one set in the 1940s, one set in 2003. Like, you can have some fun with the Christmas Carol because then you have different versions of Scrooge. Because think of like a 2023 evil CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, and he gets visited by the Christmas past and present. And does he listen? I don't think he does, but it would be interesting to see.
That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. I like the name Malachi. I don't even know why I thought of
You
it.
made all of that up just now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I do that
Christ.
because
I
I'm a
thought you were
fucking fiction
serious.
writer. That's why I get in the goddamn New Yorker and you don't.
You didn't get into the New Yorker, you son of a bitch.
Like, you could be angry about it, but facts are facts.
Are we going to talk about Dickens' butthole, or are we going to talk about Dickens' butthole?
Dickens' butthole is very tight.
Do you know
I
anything
can
about his butthole?
I know that it had a grease ratio of 4-to-1, which I thought was impressive for the time.
A grease ratio.
Grease to dry. Pretty
So
greasy.
you might not believe me, but I'm referencing Charles Dickens' butthole because Charles Dickens' butthole is an actual topic of conversation.
As it should be.
Charles Dickens had many a medical phenomena during his active writing period, and one of these phenomena was one anal fissure.
That has nothing to do with grease. That is a cut. That is a split in the anus area.
Charles Dickens underwent surgery on his butthole
That's not pleasant in those times.
without anesthesia.
Oh, the man should have ate more fiber.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, that wouldn't be pleasant.
I will add, we discussed this in my high school English class.
Charles Dickens' butthole. Can
Yeah.
you imagine writing all the works he did and people were talking about your butthole hundreds of years later?
I remember my English teacher saying the word butthole in my class and talking about. I imagine Charles Dickens on a medical bed, conscious while he's getting surgery performed on his anus, writing A Christmas Carol. And I had to Google whether or not that was real or not. It turns out not, but he was conscious while he was getting surgery performed in his butthole. And I can't imagine enduring that. I don't know what age that was. I think it was in his younger years. I'm not sure. But
Well, what kind of surgery would they be doing? Just sewing them up?
I don't know.
Sometimes they're cutting your butthole when it's already cut. Like, that don't make sense.
I don't really know. Maybe, but I mean, regardless, could you imagine?
Unless he had hemorrhoids too.
Maybe. I mean, could you imagine getting that done on your fucking ass?
I mean,
Like-
I'd like to not think about it.
Yeah, that would hurt so bad. There's so many nerves in there.
Yeah, I guess there are. Let me
There's-
look up Charles Dickens' butthole real quick.
Yeah.
Butthole. Gonna regret this one. Oh, I spelled it in Spanish. How did I even manage that? Oh, my phone or computer's yelling at me. Charles Dickens' bumhole. The dark side of Dickens. From the quivering pen. Okay, I can't do that. Charles Dickens' top 10 asshole moves. I don't even want to know what that is. Who's the biggest asshole in history? Most would say Hitler. Some would say Charles Dickens. What? That seems like a weird second. Mussolini was a guy. Donald Trump is alive. Like, what are we talking about Charles Dickens for? I don't think I'm getting let me just go to images. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, that did help. Okay, I'm not looking that up anymore.
Well,
That was bizarre. I don't like that information. I wish I didn't receive it. That's
well, I'm
not
glad
good.
that you did and that you're uncomfortable, because
Yeah.
I've been living with it for 21 years. Or no, 11 years. 21 years. I might fucking lose my mind. 11 years.
You're gonna tell me next Dostoevsky had erectile dysfunction?
Probably did, but I mean, we can start wrapping this up. Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol in about 6 weeks, and I've read that a lot of the reason that we say Merry Christmas in America is because A Christmas Carol was popularized so much, and he used the term Merry Christmas instead of Happy Christmas so many times in A Christmas Carol that it became the norm. And I don't know why it became the norm in America and not in England or Great Britain or whatever, but I've read that it really established that over Happy Christmas.
Mm.
He didn't invent it because it was,
Already in
it was in the Christmas carols before he said it, but yeah.
I have a
but-
customer, one of the corporations I deliver to, one of the security guys. Every time I leave, he says, "Have a happy," and I don't like it. It's a weird way to not have a good day, not have a good one, not have a happy day, even just have a happy.
That's all he
Weird.
says? Have a happy?
Yeah, he says have a happy.
That is
It's
really
like an
weird.
incomplete thought. He says it every day for the last 14 years. I'm like, I don't like
It's
it.
so weird.
Have a happy.
Have a happy.
I mean, it's his catchphrase, I guess, but I don't like it. I
Yeah,
don't
it's odd.
understand it. Have a happy. Happy what? Have a happy what? You fucking guy.
Jesus Christ.
People have weird things they say.
Well,
Beer is
Caleb,
not-
what did you drink today?
What did I drink today? Oh, God.
This evening.
I had 2 Mad Elves. I had pear brandy from Schwarzenlagen, Slorgan Flurgan.
Mm-hmm.
I had clandestine absinthe. I had a Kugel Red Lager, and I'm drinking this Radler from Pitchers Brewing, which is some kind of grapefruit orange beer.
Is that one I've had before, or is that a new one?
You probably had it. I had these when you were over before.
Is that those like, let me see it.
So good ones that hit your lips. This one tastes like a juice. It doesn't. After all that other strong beer, it doesn't taste like anything but juice.
Yeah, it looks
That's the
familiar.
guy on the unicycle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think I had that. Those are
Butt
good.
hurts. My butt went numb. I don't like the
Oh, jeez.
new chair from butt. My butthole. I'm gonna be like Charles Dickens. I'm gonna get surgery because of Bryce. You have
Well,
a 10-hour podcast for no
Do
reason.
you think we analyzed Die Hard and Christmas Carol hard enough?
Not good at all, actually. I think we did a poor job, but I don't think
Probably.
people listened for our analysis of anal cis of Christmas Carol and the stupid Bruce Willis movie.
I don't think anyone listens anyway, but
I mean, we got drunk, so that's a bonus.
Yeah.
Something accomplished.
I mean, if we have to do this from now on, I guess I'm fine with it. I don't know. I don't really want to have to consume this many calories all the time on a regular basis, but at least it makes it more fun anyway. I don't know. But in any case, I do like talking about games and books, no matter what it takes to talk about them. I think it's important to talk about games and books because games and books are both part of culture. And I think we've talked about David Craddock enough in this episode, but he made it, I don't know, he really solidified the fact that they're both relevant parts of our lives. And they kind of go hand in hand because not only are they written stories on both ends, but people made both of them, and those people all have stories as well. And I think that was a really good point to make, to understand the people behind the books and the games. And
the games and the books.
Yeah, we probably could have dove more into the people behind Die Hard, but I won't have to do that today.
Nobody cares about Die Hard. It's like 40 years old now.
Yeah.
What is Die Hard like?
it's
At least
still-
30 years old.
It's still relevant, but I don't really care anymore. Maybe 3 hours in, whatever.
Oh, you have some shit, bro.
Anyway, hopefully you guys all enjoyed this super special, absolutely terrific, wonderful, festive Christmas episode of Arcade Bookshop.
I was
And-
just degrading into drunken nonsense. Talking about ball fungus. That's how we started the episode. Before we were
just
drunk.
Chipping
Ball
away.
Chipping away the old ball fungus. And it went uphill from there, right? Yeah, okay.
I think so. Anyway, we thank you all for listening to Arcade Bookshop. Hope you enjoyed this Christmas. I hope you enjoy your Christmas holiday, your time
Holiday
with your
special,
family.
Bryce. You can't say Christmas is holiday special. You don't want to offend.
I already advertised
non-
it as a Christmas special.
Well, now you're going to
I
go
think
to
we're
jail.
talking about Christmas as Christmas time. It's different from everything else. We celebrate Christmas even if we're religious or not. But anyway, we thank you for listening. And whether you celebrate Christmas or not, we're talking about these Christmas specific features, including Die Hard and A Christmas Carol. Hope you enjoyed these cultural conversations while we are both drunk, continuously out of our minds. Thank you for listening to Arcade Bookshop. Stay tuned for our future episodes. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like listening to us shoot the shit about video games and books, please tell a friend to listen. Personal sharing is by far the best way for us to grow and continue putting out good content and increasing the quality of our show while Caleb flexes his muscles on the camera.
I don't know if it's picking up because I wasn't talking. Now it is because I'm talking. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as long as the recording shows up in my Google Drive. Yeah. And please remember to rate and review the show if you haven't already.
From this end, it looks like I got really big arms. I'm like a giant midget or a little giant. I look like a little giant.
You can also follow us on Instagram at arcade_bookshop and TikTok and YouTube at Arcade Bookshop. If you have any game and book recommendations, you can DM us anywhere or email us at arcadebookshop@gmail.com. Not only would we love to hear some cool ideas for the show and not have to think of them all on our own, but if you're interested in being a guest on the show, reach out. Let us know. We interviewed David L. Craddock last week about his book, Long Live Mortal Kombat. And if you have something interesting to talk about, we can have you on the show and talk about it as well. And Caleb, what's going on with the EVW?
You got real metallic there, bro. You sounded very robotic.
Well, I didn't on my end because I'm present with myself.
What did you say? Oh, Caleb, what are you up to? Hey, thanks for asking. So I have this podcast. It's called the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. It's been around for so long that I don't even remember the start date. You can follow it at DPW Podcast on X, not Twitter. It's not allowed to say Twitter. It's X. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Those are all things people use. You can also follow me at calebjamesk.com. I'm on Blue Sky, but I do not update on there. I don't update anything anymore because I'm like Bryce. I hate social media. It sucks. You know, it sucks. TikTok. Glad I never started one. You did because you dumb boy, but I didn't start one. I got this beer. It's pretty good. And Charles Dickens. I didn't know he had bumhole problems, but that's fucking problematic. Yep, that's all I got to add.
What's your wife doing right now?
She's probably sleeping, probably very mad. I told her that, hey, we're going to record a podcast. And she was like, oh, and I said, it won't take long. And she said, oh, yeah, okay. Originally, I was like, oh, cool. Because she was supposed to work a double shift. I was like, okay, cool. We'll be done before she even gets home. And then she didn't work the double shift. And I was like, well, even better. Then I could just record a quick hour and I can go spend time with her. And I didn't do any of that. So.
4 hours later.
I've been fucking sleeping in the shed. I feel very low right now. Like I'm sunk in my chair.
Well, thank you all for listening. For all of you who actually stuck around for the full 3.5 hours.
If you didn't, you a dummy, because this was the best episode I ever recorded.
Well, hopefully you all enjoyed it. And if you did, maybe do as we do. Keep a controller in one hand and a book in the other.
I thought you were going to say wiener.